Okay. Are we live on the fruited plains of the internet? Let's see here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting notifications.
That is not running over. Okay. Move you here. Refresh. Play. Okay. That is Jimmy knockered. Yeah. I need to start over again. I need to...
Yeah, you're live.
Okay. Right? Because... And let's see here. I see you here. Are you showing up? Oh, close this. I know. Pardon everybody. Thank you for hanging through all these fun technical things right now. Of course, I'm trying to do something different, and oh, my Rumble stream is stopped. Okay. Oh, I hear myself. That's fun. Okay. We are running
Alibaba
here.
Alibaba says, my computer is ignorant, stupid, ignorant, and bothersome today. Hello, everybody.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess that's going to be... Hey, welcome. Okay, Rumble's right. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I guess that's going to be...
Phoenix. Oh, okay. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I hope it's a lovely Sunday. Welcome to the circus. And I'm going to do a backflip or something. I don't know, but it's early. So if you can hear me, hello. Yeah, you don't have any audio. To the circus?
Plugged.
There you go. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Connected, mic and audio. Okay. Testing.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Do I exist on the internet? Yes. Where am I typing into?
You sound like you're in a different dimension in a vacuum tube.
Oh, spectacular. That must be me being too close to my...
It's Halloween.
Computer fan. All right.
It's
audio again, though. I hear you're talking to me.
Yes. How are you doing?
I do. Okay. I have a cat who is like begging me for snacks. And one camera's working, one camera's not. We're all just oogie boogie around here right now.
You kind of sound like you're in one of those booths, those sound booths.
Oh, spectacular. Awesome. Welcome, everybody.
If it wasn't for technical difficulties,
Sunday. I'm just gonna unplug this one camera because
you're kind of giving Max headroom.
Working.
A little Max headroom.
Yes, I should just Munch on that one. Go. It would be like the streamer. Oh,
Hey, really quickly,
Oh,
say
man.
Sunday,
Oh, man.
Sunday, Sunday.
I'm gonna have to hide these snackies. I hope thanks everybody for putting up with all of the funness. My computer, even though I decided you can't go in there, and wow, this picture looks charming. I can't. Oh no, I just no, I hid myself. Well, that's good times. Let me. Okay. Too funny. Oh, because I need to be in here.
Can you hear me?
Let's try this. Okay. I'm just gonna use this camera.
Can you hear me?
My room's a shenanigans. And oh, let's do something fun.
Yay, Pam! I'm glad that your husband made it home safely. That's awesome.
Oh, now we have an echo spectacular.
I just want you to say Sunday, Sunday, Sunday one time. Do you know what's so funny? I don't think Phoenix can hear me. So I'm going to say nothing but nice things about Phoenix because she's a great person. I haven't been around in a while, but I love streaming with her. Can you hear me now? I'm just gonna start putting goofy stuff on. I'm just gonna start putting goofy stuff on and see what happens. Oh. You know, I have been beefing with Amazon lately, but this came through. So I can't gripe too hard, and I like how shiny it is.
Well, that was fun.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you great.
Yay!
Yeah, my computer just decided to restart itself, and I was like, okay. Spectacular. Wow. Yes, this is the giant double circle skirt that everybody saw me make, and I was like, I should like wear some of my cute clothes that I've made.
You know, I say this all the time, and I've been saying this for almost 4 years now. If it wouldn't be the internet if we didn't have mistakes.
Right.
And
Oh
I
man.
am, yes, you're not hallucinating. I am wearing this 1980s vest. Halloween, and that's my excuse.
We don't need an excuse to be fun. Oh, I'm so okay. I'm just bummed about Rumble because they're opening up a new small creators partner program, and I needed 50 subscribers, and I've been fighting. And I made it today, so I might be doing more on the Rumbles as well. But
Hi, Joy. Your mic is kind of roboting again. I know. Internet is frustrating. Yay. I hope everyone's doing well.
can I plug this mic in if I'm not running OBS?
Hi, Joy.
Wait.
So yesterday, Joy went to what I think was a ceremonial wedding, and she said it was weird. And she said the priest was wearing long robes and everything.
Okay, do I have a mic that sounds slightly less horrible?
Oh, you sound perfect. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, you're robotic in my ear, but I'll whatever.
Oh, really?
It's just every once in a while. It might be my Bluetooth. It might be my internet. I'm hardwired into my internet today, and OBS stopped running. So I don't know. I got bones to cut.
Exactly. And to pick with the internet.
Seriously. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, nice. Start doing the Michael Jackson dance. Yes, we're gonna do Thriller. I sound great. Perfect. Yeah, this is my other microphone. I'm just like, some stuff's working, some stuff's not working. We're gonna go with this. I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna shut this window down. I'm gonna have to figure out better how to play with OBS and to get all of my. Ooh, we're so big now.
Joy, the more you describe that wedding, I wish I was there.
Oh, skeleton bread. Oh, this was the cosplay like steampunky wedding that you went to.
Well,
That the
I don't,
bride was wearing black.
it sounds more like hardcore pagan almost, because it was extremely ceremonial.
Okay, yeah.
But I could be
Well,
wrong.
who knows? I mean, did they jump over brooms? Was there like tying of hands as per traditional hand fasting? Because
See,
this I might know something about.
this is why you should have been there yesterday, because these are the hard-hitting questions that I needed to ask.
Fair. Yeah, no, yesterday I had my own misadventures. Well,
Oh, I
it was
get it.
fine until things weren't, but I don't really want to talk about it. We're just going to leave the rest of that alone.
You know,
Um,
I stream 3 days a week. I have no expectations for anyone to join me. I'm just a crazy person on the internet who likes to wear a Michael Jackson vest.
right. And just hopped up on prednisone, so you're like feeling your oats.
I am. I am. I am.
Oh my goodness. There will be sewing and there will be cutting bones. I
Oh,
went to
they
Join
did.
Fabrics yesterday.
They did. It was a pagan wedding. They did jump
This
over the broom. Sorry.
Oh, good. Oh, the guy with the cloak wrapped around some kind of. Oh, yes, that's I see. We have a hand fasting, and yep. So then the next question is, if there wasn't like actual proper paperwork, it might just be for a year and a day or a life. It depends on what government contract they signed or did not sign.
Wow.
But never mind. What else we can? We're not here to learn. We learn stuff accidentally, and yeah, we're here for the fun of it. And we're going to hope that this skull and femur bone fabric actually glows in the dark like it says it's supposed to. I haven't tested it yet, but.
Ooh, I love glow in the dark stuff. I
Yeah.
love glow in the dark stuff.
Yeah, I see a cute little dress.
That reminds me, I need to pull all my season stuff out. I have my I Still Believe in Santa sweater. I have a crochet one and a sweatshirt one. And I have a bunch of Halloween skeletons.
Oh man, I know. I was hoping to find some more like big proper skeletons. Today I just have. Where did I put my foot? Where's my foot? Oh,
Do you know what the funny thing is? The Michael Jackson vest had way more zippers on it, so I'm gonna go zipper crazy. Oh, I like your foot.
I have two, but I think I just have two left feet, literally. Again, last week, like with our hand, it has. We can take the top off. We have some
They're so cool.
tendons. We have some bones, and I do. Where's the bone that I? Oop! Don't drop my tibia and fibula. And we've got our navicular and talus. Mm. Yeah. Here's our body part for the week.
I love
Something
that. I would play with that thing if I had it.
this was well played with. These were toys from when I was little, which helps explain why I'm such a weirdo today. Oh, there we go. I got my bones into place correctly. I'm sure
No,
it will
that's
be
just
better under the black light.
you're one of
Just that
those
I
cool
have
people
some.
that can like name all the bones of the hand. Not too many people can do that. Not too many
I'd
people.
have to refresh, but yes, there was a point in my where I could name every one of them, and all the nerves, and the blood vessels, and all the muscles, and their insertions and origins and insertions. So yeah, I I know some random things.
Not just MJ. I believe they went to JP the day before. Oh,
The
just
just
as a
the
piece.
piece. So this is a. Oh, except this.
Some glow in the dark is only under black light. I have so much. You guys are inspiring me to pull out, and I have a fog machine, but I try to stay away from my fog machine because during COVID, Isaiah and I let it off in here, and it clogged machines. It like
Oh no.
it was cool at the moment. We had a great time, but I learned a lesson.
Yeah, some stuff is just too much.
Well, in a small space, a fog machine, it creates liquid,
Yeah.
and it's not good for equipment. Can you still hear me? I don't know.
Let's
Rah
see my.
rah Rasputin. You're a robot in for a second.
But stop stream with it.
I don't know if your computer could handle both the camera angles, like Kilroy was saying earlier. Hi. I feel like we were just hanging out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Do you know what? I went and bought pumpkins today. I'm actually really excited. I went and bought pumpkins and I got a huge one, but I bet you $20 when Isaiah walks in this house this evening from his mom's house, he's going to be like, "Oh, I want the big pumpkin." You know what? I should pull you know what? I'll let him have the big pumpkin. But this year I'm going to carve the great pumpkin. Do you know my local Safeway was out of pumpkins? Spectrum runs like shit when you try both Oh, the stream runs like shit when you try both cameras. Yeah. I was going to ask if you can hear me, but I could just do this. Yep, you can hear me. Rah, rah, Bodie. Absolutely, Joy.
Oh, am I covering everybody up? There we
Rah,
go.
rah, Rasputin. Godless on the sewing scene. That guy really knows how to talk. Yeah,
Right?
Prednisone does take me like one step up. I'm usually at like a 9. I'm at a 10
Yeah.
right
Yep. Yeah. The not not liking both of my cameras right now. Yeah, we're full of oopsies today. We're just batting zero for a gajillion. I guess I should just cut bones because you can't see the sewing machine with the way I'm situated right now, and if I sew, my back's gonna be to people. So I guess I have to hand sew today. No machines.
That's okay.
Right.
Sundays are meant to
Oh,
relax, right?
right.
As the cat is like dive bombing off of something.
Yes. Let's see here. Can I
Oh, that's
pretend?
cool.
Oh, he thinks bones are fun. this was the largest year ever. 3 metric tons. Okay, you're gonna. All right, our helper is helping very hard right now.
Oh wow! Aw, is that the new guy?
Yeah, this is little shithead. I mean,
Aw,
Baloo.
you can tell. You can tell the new guy because he doesn't know the rules.
he's he's
So
funny.
I have like 8 or 9 yards of this weird leopard print. I'm thinking about making a whole outfit.
Yes,
But
why not?
should I go shirt and pants or pants, shirt, and overcoat?
His shirt or
I'll show it
coat.
to you.
Or
It's
what about pant, vest, and overcoat?
ooh, I do wear it. Black does look good with everything.
Right.
But I have 8 yards of this stuff. This guy I saw going out of business, so I walked in.
Oh, you're like, you can take my money. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, I think I would do overcoat, vest, and pants if I would be my go-to, I think. But
It hasn't been washed yet, so it's still in the bag.
I know I didn't pre-wash that skull fabric. I'm kind of afraid to, but it's a 4-way stretch, so it's not like it's gonna shrink. Ooh, you've got a surprise birthday, Joy. Ooh, fun. Aw, your daughter's 42 and her boyfriend is substantially younger than she is. Go her. Sweet. Well, enjoy her surprise party.
Oh, I forgot the wedding party also had a whitish owl there. Oh yeah, I knew it. The second she described it, I was like, I know where you were. I know where you.
We were at Harry Potter's wedding.
Oh, that's awesome, Joy. That's awesome.
Oh, that's fun. He's going to kill that bone. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. He's like, I've got all the. Can I have? I want all the bones, and the.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. With someone dating someone younger than them.
Oh no, I'm not. I was congratulating her. Actually, there was no shade being
No, I'm just
being
saying, like,
tossed.
there's so much stigma, but like when it comes to like over a certain age, when you're grown adults, I wish the best for you.
Right. Yep. If you've got stuff that keeps you together and you enjoy each other's company, that is all that matters.
I wish I could share photos here. Oh, I wish I could see your photos too from your wedding.
Oh,
I made such a mess last night. Then I tried to clean and I made a mess again today.
I hate when that happens.
Well, prednisone makes me extremely restless, so I was like
Yeah.
relaxing and I'm gonna completely rearrange my closet right now.
Oh, good. Did you actually finish though?
No, I got really far, but basically it's me pulling all my winter stuff out because it's
Yeah.
windy now. So now we're finally starting to get into what Californians consider winter,
Well, we
because
had
it's
snow up on the mountain, so it's cold enough here.
it's hot during the day, but it's dipping at night. We're getting our real desert weather here.
Oh yeah, nothing beats those 30 to 40 degree temperature shifts from daytime to nighttime. Good
Oh,
times.
I have to read that comment. She'll have an easy time training her boyfriend.
Yes. Yes, that is an important trait, easily trainable.
Oh yeah, because by the time men get my age, they're rotten and untrainable.
Right?
Says the old dog who refuses to learn new tricks.
Oh man. But yeah, take the time if you haven't and are on the social medias. It's good to diversify where your content goes to. So I would check out the Rumble, the place of amazingness, and
I
what
need to
was it?
get
Oh,
back. I need to get
Yeah.
back on my Rumble and everything. I've been slacking because I'm concentrating on my YouTube channel because it's picked up lately.
Well, you can
But with the
simulcast. Well, when it works, when things go right in my world, I can stream to both places at once. Or if you do pre stuff, it will pull from your YouTube, so it's not like you need to necessarily do double work. They're making it easier. They want more like normie content, and I don't
I could
know.
do that. I like how they don't like my main beef is every video I make, I have to chop it because YouTube does not like my style.
Right,
They do not like my style. And like I wanna be weirdly nostalgic and talk about sewing machines. It's not even complicated.
right. Yeah, there's a home for even you two over on the Rumbles. Did I cut that
Let's
bone too
see.
short? Too late now.
Was
What's
19C yesterday now gonna be 1C?
Oh, cold. Oh, snow already. Yep, from summer to winter like that. Indeed. Flip the switch
Oh,
hard up there.
and he's very fit. Yeah, I was buff at 26 too. That's me crying for 26. This is my John Cougar Mellencamp ode to 26.
Oh, let me see if I can move. Okay. Oh, we lost a participant. Let's
Oh
see
no, I'm
here.
right here. I'm right
Oh,
here.
okay. You just lost your. Okay, we're not lost. We're not lost. All who showed up at the circus are found. We're just.
I've got my ticket. I got my ticket. I'm sitting front row. I'm here.
Everybody here's part of the
Thank you,
exclusive
Pam.
groups. Let's
Thank
see.
you. I dressed like Judas Priest, and so did you hear about Matthew Perry?
That was going to be one of the next things I brought up.
I kind of like people brought it up last night, and like I heard it live, so it really didn't hit me. Like I but when I worked at Starbucks in West Hollywood, I told this story last night. He would come in. This is when he was in recovery. He would sit and people watch because West Hollywood is exciting, you know? There's a
Yeah.
lot of people always out there. No one would talk to him.
Oh.
People no, but people respectfully left him alone because he was like he had that REM Everybody Hurts playing. He had that
Oh,
look,
yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And out of respect, Hollywood's weird like that. Like people will respect you,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know.
that is good. It's just so weird. Like, did he have a heart? Like, TMZ keeps saying that he like drowned in his jacuzzi.
But that
Like,
comes
what?
with it. He lived a hard life, and as somebody who probably is going to pass away from a heart attack himself, that's the territory. What happens when you have respiratory issues, when you stress your body, when you drink a lot,
Yeah,
when you do like m- every
right.
man in my family who has ever picked up nicotine has died of a heart attack.
Mm,
You know, so it's not uncommon.
right.
And
Right.
he
And
was
he had some heart
swimming.
procedure a couple years ago and had been on ECMO and stuff.
Exactly. And he was swimming because it was freaking 80 degrees yesterday here.
Well, you don't swim in a jacuzzi, don't you? Just sit there and
Oh,
soak.
he was in a jacuzzi. I heard he was in a pool.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, right. So who knows? TMZ is not the best, most reliable source for accurate coverage.
We've had summer like weather. Today is legitimately the first day where it's been windy. Like this is real Southern California weather today. Today is the
Yeah.
first day where it's like the real Santa Ana's. It's been freakishly hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
even
I, you
here,
know,
it's been seasonally appropriate. I mean, it froze the other yesterday, frosted. So I got to get my winter garden started. Throw in some seeds before it gets too cold. So we're supposed to have like one last day of 70, and then it's gonna start. The rains are coming.
should I try again with pineapples? I was successful until the raccoon ripped them out last January when they were like almost grown.
Yeah, you might as well. Oh,
I guess
thanks.
I'll put a cage around it.
Cage. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just give it a big cage because it's not like you need to get in there and water it theoretically in the winter time.
You know what? The raccoon just pulled the steam out from under my. He literally pulled the rug out from under me because like I was growing them for 6 or 7 months, and pineapples get humongous. They become like a bush tree. They're
Right.
weird. Pineapples are weird, and he waited until it was a little mini pineapple, and he plucked it.
Just like, oh, thanks for growing me a baby fruit just my size.
Then I just had a fancy palm tree at that point.
Right. There's nothing wrong with some extra greenery. Oh, yeah.
And the raccoon's still around because I take pictures of him whenever I think it's Odin, but it's the raccoon.
I know, I got scared a couple weeks ago. There was a possum on the fence, like looking over and staring at me, and I was like, oh, hey kid, it's just you.
They're just as scared, but possums are scared of you, and they keep away Lyme's disease. They eat ticks.
Right, no, I love them. It was just like, when you're outside in the dark in the nighttime, you never know who you're going to see creeping.
Trash pandas have thumbs, and they scare me. Trash pandas scare me. So, should I add? Oh, look at my eagle that everyone's so scared of. Should I add a hood or a collar to my raincoat? And that material is what you would make out of a jacket. I'm sorry, out of a backpack, and it's waterproof. I washed it, and it's waterproof. I like the raincoat look with like the collar, the trenchy.
I was thinking collar too. For some reason, I was like, it doesn't. There's so. I don't think we need another hood, but a collar sounds cute.
I'm a trench coat duster kind of guy. It's my style.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. This summer, I have purchased like 6 or 7 trench coats, on top of all the ones that I've made.
Hey Loki.
It's because my local Goodwill has trench coats for $8, $5. You know.
Yeah. I know, I was thinking about you at the Goodwill because they had a box. I should have just grabbed them for $2 or something for touch and throw cams. But I was like, I don't have that machine. And I was like, oh, even at that price, like, I don't need stuff that I can't use right now.
I have touch and throw cams. I have a box. You know, it's so funny. I purchased it thinking it was something it wasn't. And I open it up and I'm like, oh, it's touch and sew cams. I was disappointed. I'm sitting in a room of touch and sew. I was touch and show. I can't even say it now. I was touch and sewed, shamed last night. Because I found, I think, what's either my 18th or 19th touch and sew.
Oh my god.
I cleaned everything back out here, and I forgot I had racks of sewing machines next to my recliner, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's another touch and sew. I forgot about you, guy.
Yeah, you probably need to like find some way to catalog your inventory just for curiosity's purposes.
You know what? That's a really. I should do that just so I know what I have.
Yes.
Phoenix, that's the most logical thing I've heard all day.
Just leave it to me to come up with something quasi-sensible.
Because, like...
Allie,
No, go ahead.
Ellie says that since you're getting into zippers, a hood and a collar have the hood. Ooh, that's a great idea. Have a detachable hood. Make a collar with a hood attached with a zipper so that you can... Right, why stop at one when you can have all of it?
I like that. That's like, I was thinking about putting a zipper on. I made a cloak with a cape on the back, but I kept the cape detached because I loved the look, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I should do it. He catalogs it by looking through it until he finds something he didn't know he had.
Yeah, that is, I think that is his way, Killer. You are correct. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I recently went through my closet and I'm like, I own a Goodwill. I'm downsizing because I own so many. I own so many clothes. Like I
Yeah.
have amassed. There's so many clothes in my closet that if you sit on the floor, it literally dampens the sound. The walls
That's
are
why we scream
projected
from the
by clothes.
closet.
I was sitting on the floor and I had this really zen moment of like, it's so quiet in here. Why is it so? Because everything's dampened because the walls are lined with clothes.
Okay, can I do
It's
this?
so sad but true. I'm trying to. I'm gonna like take all my stuff and I'm gonna drive to like Orange County to somewhere like a Goodwill that's not in my town because I don't want to buy my stuff back.
No, I just want to put this. No.
I'm gonna
All
have to
right.
legitimately do that.
Sorry for the camera moving and shaking. I'm trying to find
That's okay.
a way.
I'm gonna have to
I'm
like.
being
Maybe I should drive to Utah and donate my stuff. Maybe that's far enough away. Actually, I'd have to get on a plane. It would be somewhere where I couldn't physically drive to.
right, so you can't bring stuff home with you.
I was thinking about, I keep on threatening to go to Michigan, and knowing me, one day you're going to see a post that's like, hey, me standing next to Fred Sanford, like, hey.
Right.
Oh, man. I am going to have one spectacle of a garage sale, though.
You're gonna have to at some point. Okay. Ugh.
I did not make it by Rooster's Relics today. Mr. Woosk is trying to get me to buy 25 sewing machines. And okay, first off, like I don't have the room. I cleaned everything and I promised myself, like, you are not going to buy a table. And I haven't. And it's been a while. I haven't bought a table in a while because I don't have the room.
I know, I have to stop myself every time I keep seeing that New Home Climax treadle. I just want it for the name. That just makes me laugh. Like, who names a sewing machine the Climax?
There's a few. There's a few like that I want.
And it's down to, it was at 100, it's down to 150, but it's in this beautiful table, which is partly why I love it, because it's a treadle, and that's something that's not yet in my collection, but I just can't.
I saw a treadle 41 2M Italian made today, super rare.
Beautiful. I bet he could use your help IDing the machines. Oh, I know, Fred Sanford, you guys would be a match made in heaven.
It must really like the design.
Yeah.
See, but Fred Sanford's my kind of peeps. Like, I could hang out with Fred Sanford. He smokes cigarettes and drinks coffee. Like, he has vices. I'm weird. If you don't have vices, I do not necessarily trust you. If you're not quirky, like I like quirky people because that's the real person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm quirky.
Right. Everybody's
So
quirky.
I appreciate people like Fred Sanford. He's a real human. I would have a blast with that.
Humans.
And I guarantee you he has I guarantee he has your machine, my machine, you know.
Everything in between machines.
I agree, Kilroy. You got to have at least one vice.
Right.
Even sewing is a vice. Collecting is a vice.
You know, and it helps that there's a lot of overlap. Collect machines, collect fabric, collect notions. I really wanted to use my zipper foot, but we're at this machine right now. I know, I moved my other white, so my Brunhilde is sitting on my other white table because I haven't fixed the power cord to her yet. So I just opened her up so I could have the extension for the computer to sit on. And I have a machine on a machine because, you know, it happens. Oh, Ellie was looking at a Singer Vertical ES2 fiddle bass for $75. I know, no room set aside for it, so no, yeah.
And my boss like made me promise I wouldn't hoard sewing machines at the job too, and I kind of have to listen to her.
Yeah. She is the ultimate. can't disregard boss's wishes.
No, I can't. And she checks too.
Of course she does.
She has the same set of keys that I have. Oh man. That reminds me, I have a ton of fabric. I have to reorganize my fabric once every 2 weeks because it grows, and then I make something and it becomes a mess. I'm waiting for Mr. Hands to come home because he helps me fold fabric.
Aww.
And that's one thing with kids. Like people tell me all the time, like to him, thrifting is normal, folding fabric is normal, being around sewing machines because that's all he's known his whole life.
Right? They let kids learn from by example.
Exactly.
Press on them the importance of a skill, and they will continue to do it. Oh my gosh!
I love seeing. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, so I heard today the YouTube suspended the LA Police Department's YouTube channel for posting a video of a crime where they were hoping to solicit from the community who the criminals were. Like how? Yeah.
How do you feel? Have you seen the footage of that man who drove through the Portland parade?
I saw some of. I don't think I saw the actual impacts. But
it's hard to watch because I used to live there. I've been to that parade and sat on that very route.
Oh man, the other footage that was super bad though too was that what was the guy who was in jail for some amount of time, theoretically didn't do the original crime that he was charged with, got out, and then got into a brawl with the cop, or she was trying to choke out the cop, and the cop was like, yeah, no.
I saw that too. Where's my notes? There's all kinds of crazy stuff that's been happening lately.
Oh, I've got another, what's up with that Jonathan Macht, that boutique realtor who allegedly climbed over RFK, the fence at RFK Jr.'s house, not once but twice, but 3 times over the course of a year, and that one of the times recently was in the second floor bathroom.
What? Don't sneak in my house. I'm not going to react well.
But he's a realtor. Like, what does a realtor need to be climbing fences into somebody's, like, is this just, like, I've got so many questions. Did this really happen? Is this just a stunt so that RFK can say, like, no, guys, I really need a Secret Service detail because I'm running, like, I'm so confused.
The problem is, like, if you don't have footage, then you'll never know. David Lee Roth, okay?
Yeah.
There was I need to find the footage. In LA, our news is famous for high-speed chases or always being on the scene because we have helicopters everywhere. Well, there was scenes of a mansion robbery,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, all you see is the helicopter turns the corner and the guy's on the ground in the back of this giant mansion. David Lee Roth walked out with the shotgun and told the guy to get on the ground. So we all have the footage of now knowing that David Lee Roth does not joke around.
Right. When
Like
he says he's packing, he's packing.
we know that David Lee Roth will wop bop a loo bop 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 bam you out his house. So
Do
I
not
need,
show up unannounced.
unfortunately, in the modern era, if you have as much money as um Mr. Kennedy Jr. I have a ring, I have a closed circuit security camera, I have an old school baby monitor that I just kind of turned on because it's really cool and it was really expensive at the time. I have cameras everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, like I don't believe that somebody can just randomly show up, climb the fence at his property. Like, I just don't believe it.
No, no, like even I don't know. And you know what? I'm putting my situation in my life on somebody else's, but my house is wired and I'm a middle class nobody. And my house is wired.
Right? Yeah, it's so bizarre.
That's how I can see
Well,
Odin half the time. I have a cat cam. Come on.
mm,
Yeah, I'm on
yes,
Patrick Zone. I'm talking about David Lee Roth. He's a legend.
it is, and that's so funny that Jamal Bowman. It's good that he realized he can't get away with having pulled the the fire alarm, because the footage of that whole thing, oh my god, there was it was not a good look for him.
Did he say he didn't do it?
He said that he got confused and didn't realize that he was pulling the alarm. It's from a guy who was a high school principal for a number of years. Like
I have about 15 questions for that man, and none of them are
well,
good.
right, because there was the full clip. He goes to the door, he reads the sign, he knows what to do, he drops the sign over, then goes and pulls the fire alarm. Like, he knew exactly what he was doing. They won't hear shit from you though. They'll hear is R&B and they're laughing at my stupid jokes.
That's crazy. My next door neighbor is moving like in a panic.
Oh no.
It's
Oh
really
good.
weird. He said him and his wife are divorcing and they're
Oh, this one
fighting.
who's been living in the back shed.
Yes. And the neighbor across the street that we all don't get alike. We all don't like. We
Yeah.
don't get along. He has two giant pods in front of his house. I think he's moving.
Hmm.
And this really weird, angry high school football coach guy who moved in, who like was just an angry human. He's moving as well. It's just weird. I've been seeing moving trucks, but the truth is, people move here not like my next door neighbor. He can more than afford to live in my neighborhood. He's different, but people
Yeah.
move here not realizing the upkeep of living in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
So a lot of people move here and then can't afford to 2 years later.
Right. Oh, did I? I busted a needle. I knew I wanted. That's why I wanted the other machine. Be careful when sewing bones if you don't have a zipper foot and you have the bone in the channel, which I like to do so I can.
Maybe the divorce is a cover, and he's in the witness protection program.
Maybe.
He'd be perfect for it. He speaks a few languages. You can send him anywhere in the world. They're they're having an open house. The signs are up and everything. I haven't even had a chance to sew on the front lawn indecently or anything.
Right. See, and how is that going to do for the property value of all the surrounding? Like, if everything is for sale right now, like, why would somebody want to move to that neighborhood?
I'm asking the same thing why, but I think it's like 90% of the time it's financial because people, and I've noticed this here in my town. Excuse me, people move here as a status symbol to say I live in ha ha ha. and then they can't
Mhm.
afford. Like, ask somebody from Beverly Hills, where are you from? They're gonna say Beverly Hills 15 times
Right. It's like, didn't you hear?
because
It
they want
sounds
you
like
to
the
know
people
that.
who live in the Palisades too were like, of course we live here for this name and a status symbol.
Oh gosh, yeah. You say the Palisades, you know they have more money than you on the jump. Like, oh, you're rich and I'm poor.
Right, right.
Okay.
I'm not even going to
And
pretend to try to flex with that because I've never seen that many zeros on a piece of paper before.
so people move to my town to flex, and then they end up like having to move. So it's just weird. It's been a long time since I've seen this many houses for sale at once.
Yeah.
Buy a carton of Camels and a 24 pack of Bud Light and set it up on the front lawn 2 feet from the sidewalk.
Oh,
They'll keep the yuppies.
that you'll will only get nice neighbors that way.
I was thinking about parking my truck on the front lawn, but last time I did that, I kind of put a divot in the grass. So I won't do. I learned a lesson that day that the back end of my grass is kind of mushy. I was doing it to prove a point, and I put my truck on my front lawn.
Oh, speaking of, so did you hear when when did the guy get arrested last year for that whole the murders in Delphi, Indiana?
I think so, but like there's so much doom and gloom nowadays. Like the Delphi sounds familiar.
Yeah. So this guy got arrested, and they're trying to bring it to trial, but the misconduct by the judge is all
Mm.
these weird these things are so weird. So he has two public defenders, and last week the judge called them into her office and was like, you guys need to resign. And
Oh
they're
wow.
like, what? Excuse us, because our client has been happy with our representation of him. We've done all the things. We're not doing anything. Like, the judge wants them gone. And there's this whole thing about, I don't know, these Odinists. Speaking of going back to pagans and not Odinism, like, I guess there must be some like Odin cult in this area because some of the people who work at the jail have this like Odin patch. Like,
Oh.
yeah, it just gets more and more like weird.
As someone who's lived in tiny towns, people do get weirdly tight knit and do strange things though.
Fair.
Like even like I've known people that ride bikes and it gets kind of cultish when you get in small towns and everybody has a motorcycle. It's not even
Yeah.
it's just weird. It gets weird.
Yup.
What's cheaper,
Oh,
fixing the grass or fixing the neighbors?
probably the grass. And besides, who? If you live in the desert, who needs grass? Find just grow some agave so that you can make some tequila. You do.
I could make
It's
a
better fix.
ton of money if I made tequila. I'm not zoned for that. Do you know what's really funny? All the newer houses are built with more what I would call Arizona style front lawns where it's rocks and more succulent plants.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with xeriscaping when you live in the desert. Like the idea of grass and a white picket fence in a lot of places just is not what the ground wants.
And the sad thing is because of whatever's going on with the earth, Arizona and Southern California basically have the same weather in a lot of ways now.
Hmm.
And so, they have desert efficient plants and we find each other, but we have lawns. Like
Right.
we're like everybody has a front lawn.
Yeah, not worth it.
Last night though, I'll tell you, it was a full moon and I went and laid in my front lawn and
Awesome.
was chilling it. So there are some benefits.
Right. Yeah. Oh, hey,
And it was
Fire.
peaceful and.
Yeah. I know the moon was really pretty last night.
But I could go to. It's slowly phasing to a full moon. I could go to a field and do the same thing.
Yes. Great. Be careful of tarantulas.
Tarantulas are plenty in my neighborhood. They are. They are. I live in the desert. We
These
get
my neighbors.
scorpions too.
Yeah, no thanks. I know that they live here. Fortunately, that's a critter that I've never seen.
I kind of thought it was a myth too until I was like, I don't know, I was like 31, 32, and I was at the shop in the bathroom and I look down and there's a scorpion trying to attack my boot.
No thanks.
I was like, oh, they're real. They actually live here. Like, I thought it was. And there's this mysterious snake called a red racer that people would always talk about. And I'm like, it's not real. You guys are just talking about things. You're just saying old tales, I saw one. They're real.
But one of the things we have to worry about here right now are drunk bears.
Did you
And
say
they're like
drug?
drunk, DRUNK.
Oh, okay, okay. What are they drinking?
Yeah. They are eating the apples and pears that that didn't get harvested, so are just literally fermenting on the trees, or that
Oh.
have dropped and are fermenting because they're trying to get their last snackies before hibernation happens.
I saw a video. I don't know if it was in Canada, but it was like in a shop somewhere, and the bear came at the guy, and they stopped it right before the bear attacked the guy.
Oh man, you've got black widows up all the way up there. That is something we do have, and I do see them frequently enough. Fortunately, mostly outside.
When I hear drunk bears are a thing, deer too. I did not know
No,
that. Do you know
yeah.
the movie Cocaine Bear ruined my perspective because
Oh, somebody's been outside. You've got your
hey,
necklace on. You come back? I woke up getting a kitty facial this morning. He was like licking my face. He's like, "Hey, human, I'm hungry. You're not out of
oh,
bed yet. Rectify this."
you gotta let the cat know it's Sunday.
I know. And I stayed up way too late last night because we've been binging. Oh my god, so many shows. The Fall of the House of Usher was actually pretty good. Um, what are you attacking now? Well, also Bodies, another good series, and what are we watching now? October Faction.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're just binging Netflix right now.
I've been binging Paramount Plus, and then it sent me a message saying, "Hey, by the way, you still have Disney because you signed up for another year to watch hockey, so now you have Disney." And I logged in and it was overwhelming because Disney owns everything. And I scrolled
Yeah.
and logged out. I was like, "Oh man, this is way overwhelming."
Well, they're starting to not, because aren't they unloading ESPN and Hulu?
They still connect. I thought the same thing, but my ESPN login logged me straight into a Disney Plus account or whatever it's called.
Okay, so maybe all that stuff hasn't happened, or they're going to retain some type of streaming relationship. Speaking of
I'm
Disney, though, oh, go ahead.
I'm weird where like I just got it to watch hockey, so I only watch hockey on it. I don't. It's not that I don't care about Disney. My son isn't into those kind of things, so we don't log into it.
Right. Yeah, I am glad that they've decided to push back Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, because changing the dwarves to all the all their creatures, it wasn't doing it for me. Not that I think I'm going to watch the show anyway, but I am a little disappointed that they're going to CGI the dwarves. Like, what? We want representation. Like, why not just hire vertically challenged actors and have real humans?
I think the struggle to find common ground has led us astray. So people will
Yes,
say, "Oh, I have to appease this and this and this," and then you end up going so far left or right that it's away from the original product.
right. Because what I would like also like instead of change their what was that one movie or whatever that they have some like Scandinavian princess queen who's very darkly pigmented. Like I don't want to see people who weren't supposed to be originally in a story there. Can I just get some more like myths from Africa as real stories? Like,
But that's because the people who have say in the production do not care about. As somebody who is obsessed with sci-fi, I've watched certain franchises that I love. I've gone to so many Star Trek cons. These new shows have kind of sent the franchise in a different direction.
right? It sounds like that seems like it's a big problem, right? Like, don't write in characters unless they make sense. Like, I'm all for diversity, but does it make sense? And
Well,
does it enhance the storyline?
it's not even about diversity. Cat fight, cat fight.
Oh, yeah.
Just take the money and go to the rink every week. It'll be cheaper. I miss playing hockey. Actually, when we're in California, we're still in weird COVID protocols, but when that's over, I am going to join the old man over 40 beer league again. And even the roller league is connected with the ice league, and they're not playing right now because of COVID.
And I think they're going to stretch it out until after the election next year. That's my guess. That's my.
I just want to
If I
play
could read the
hockey.
tea leaves, they're going to use this to create shenanigans again.
Up
Still.
until COVID, I actually was extremely active, and now I'm playing. Now I'm playing. Now I'm taking prednisone because I get sick every time someone gets a cold. It goes straight to my lungs. But
Hmm.
I was in old man league up until COVID. Over 40.
Right, and they think people still need to be active because what was one of the biggest protection factors? Theoretically, no advice. YouTube's don't pummel me. It was being physically active, getting some vitamin D.
Oh my gosh, my son thinks that I'm like a cruel person because I make him get out of the house every day.
Right, oh yeah, oh you're so horrible. Oh no.
And like we live next to a hiking trail within like get in the car about a 4 or 5 minute drive. We are next to a giant mountain with beautiful hiking trails.
Yeah, go explore the nature in your neighborhood.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I've been walking those mountains since I was a little kid. I still discover new trails I've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
I'll
been
make sure
walking
they're
those
just not
hills.
deer trail. Are they really trails?
No, they are. They are. And plus, people have started going back there with dirt bikes, so they're really getting weird
Got
trails in
worked in
there.
there. Oh,
Oh yeah.
speaking of trails, I saw that the county south, somebody got popped for like 4,000 pounds of marijuana.
Where on the by on your side or my
No,
side?
on your side, on your side of
Yeah.
the border.
I was about to say they probably wouldn't get arrested in Oregon for it, but in California, they because of the legalization, what they did is they legalized pot, but then they cracked down on everything else around it. So it's actually more illegal than you think if you don't have a California seal on it.
Right.
If it's just, oh, I have 75 bags, 7,500 pound bags, that's not the same thing as like, having a California seal on a bag.
Right. I think this is true, Allie. They're going to stretch out the restrictions until the WHO takes over your health directives all over the G20 nations. Plus, yup, restrictions are gone here. I think, yup, and no restrictions in Pennsylvania, says Kilroy. And if they came back, nobody would follow them. Yeah, I think there's definitely a push and pull that it's going to be hard.
It's weird here because It's up to the individual business owner. And so
Mhm.
like 90% are like no mask. And then there's because I've been doing a lot of traveling lately, there are businesses that are like, we need you to put a mask on to be in here.
Right, and maybe the owner somebody's got cancer is on immunosuppressants. But the thing that's funny though too is that it's that debate of like, it's does somebody else wearing a mask protect the vulnerable, or does the vulnerable person need to just wear a mask and accept that people are people?
As a vulnerable person, I said this last night, regardless of the side, I did not get sick from 2020 to 2022 because I did
Mhm.
not have human interaction.
Right. Yeah, you can't pick up viruses and bacteria from people if you literally don't see people.
And I'm not even kidding you. It was probably the healthiest I've been in years during COVID. Like, and I was eating. I wasn't like
Right,
working out.
except for the eating and the pudding.
Yeah, like
I was
let's not
healthy
forget.
except for where I was.
No, but I didn't get sick is the weird thing. And I get sick when the weather changes because of my immune system. So, there is something to be said about living like Howard Hughes.
Right.
There's something to be said about that. I am in no way, shape, or form am I endorsing being a hermit in any way, shape, or form,
No, we're
even though
social
I
here at
am.
the circus. That's why we're an online circus.
Well, because of the internet, like, what is an agoraphobe anymore? Like, I would be considered an agoraphobe in a lot of ways.
No, but
But
are you literally afraid to leave the house? Or you
no,
just
no.
choose not to? Like, it's the fear of it that.
I know what's out there. Like if I lived in like Missouri, everything would be new to me. So I would always want to go and explore. But like I moved back to my hometown. So nothing is new here. I
Right.
quit drinking. I stopped drinking alcohol when my son started living with me 13 years ago when I divorced my ex-wife. So I don't go to bars. I haven't been to a bar in forever, you know.
Well, that's good because you might not. I heard that I can't remember the beer company, but some company is hooking up with that streamer Amaranth to make a beer. I will give you three guesses as to where she wants to claim that the yeast is going to come from for that said beer, and I'm going to say that beer's coming nowhere near my mouth.
Where's it coming from?
Someplace on her persons.
I ask a dumb question. Sewing. I'm looking at myself in the screen right.
Like,
Ask
ask
a
a dumb
dumb
question, you
question,
will
get a
get the real
dumb
answer, which
answer.
is more horrible
I
than you would
knew.
think. Yeah, from the downstairs. Gross, 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 gross.
That
So
leads
gross.
that leads to about 75 other questions that I don't
Yeah, like
want
how
to.
is that even going to be safe to drink? Like how could you? Like that's just so disgusting. Like, and what simpy incel? I guess it's for the simpy incels because no like person of rational mind is going to be like, oh yeah, I want the vag beer, please.
I'm not even gonna go down that road because
No,
it is
don't go down there.
no, because I feel like I should have a seminar to the youngins of how to talk to people. Because as a talker, like I just talk to people, and if someone like modern day people are just strange.
Yes.
And so it's weird to me that people don't like I choose not to have people around me. So I do not. And they
Oh,
used to make
interesting.
beer with
Spit yeast. Okay. So I
this is
guess
why I don't drink
adulthood is
alcohol anymore.
not a new thing. I
Oh
learned
man.
something that I was hoping to never have to learn, but thank you, Allie. I appreciate you, Darth Manuel, for your wealth of
Sticks.
knowledge.
That's sticking. That name is stick. I love nicknames. That's sticking. Oh,
They
it's
claimed it themselves. I just continue to use it because I enjoy it.
it's after midnight. One night, Amazon and I, we do and do not get along because this was so cheap. I was like, didn't even feel guilty when I was like, send it to my house, and it came within a day or two. But that means they have 1,000 of these sitting at the factory.
Right. I know they're building an Amazon warehouse like up in my neck of the woods, which is great because it's so funny when I order packages that come from California, say, or other places, they go to the complete opposite end of the state by plane and then get on a truck and drive all the way back down to my house.
This used to drive me insane when I lived in Portland. Anything I anything that I would mail from Portland would go to Texas and then to Southern California. It would drive me crazy. It's like it would be faster for me to drive it to Southern California, you know?
Right.
Did
Yeah,
I
I
ever
get that.
say I hate doing buttonholes? Grr, ripped out second one. I
Oh,
quit all joy. I get it. If it makes you
oh,
feel
so
any
you're
better,
still working on all your shirts with your one machine for buttons and the other machine for bouton holes.
I hate buttonholes. That's why I do it myself. That's very easy.
I know, I'm still scared to set up my buttonholer for this girl. I need to just try it though. I'm like,
It is so windy. It sounds like someone's trying to come through the front door. It is so windy.
that was 2 nights
Finally.
ago here.
I've been waiting months for this weather to come back. This is fine. We're finally where I can start wearing my leather again. That's why I've been cleaning out my closet because I knew sweater weather was eventually going to show up.
Right. Oh,
Joy, you
Allie.
have me thinking. Maybe I should just like get one machine and dedicate it to buttonholes and just start trying.
Yep, I think that's would be the way. See, and you're gonna have to like try out a couple and see who actually does the best job and
True.
who's the most pleasurable sewing experience. Because Allie's got contacts. Alcohol is made of rotten stuff. I know it is all that fermenting and the yeast poop and all that all that stuff that is beer. Oh, I didn't say what I was cutting bones for. I actually have had a stomacher piece cut out or a modesty panel, and I just was too lazy to bone it. So today was the day for boning, and I thought it was punny to have so many bones. Ha 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 ha. No, Joy, he does have a few to choose from.
I do. And I've been pulling out like all my like I weird for a long time. I would walk into thrift stores and find sewing machines still in the box. I bought here. Let me grab it. Oh, it's conveniently right here. Not make too much of a mess. But this dusty wonder I got for like $15 in Ventura, and it was still in the box.
Oh my
This
goodness.
is this is a Target or Walmart brother. These were only sold at Target and Walmart. I've been pulling these machines out because I'm going to start using them for certain tasks, and buttonholing is perfect.
Did I know I talked about it, but has anybody actually seen that new embroidery only brother that you basically need to pay for the subscription to use because the machine is so automated and you can't even use a PC. You have to the app only works on a phone or a tablet. Like I can't imagine having a sewing machine that requires the internet to
No
use.
way. That's my beef with modern day video games. Why like I like playing Mortal Kombat. My son and I purchased the game. Well, I purchased the game. And they wanted me to pay more for more characters and I'm like, I just want to play the game, guy.
Oh, that's so lame.
Pay for play. I would never do that for a sewing machine ever. It would drive me insane.
No, no, exactly. Oh, Joy, let's see here. Bought her Janome 423S just for the buttonholes. Well, that is an endorsement for if you're looking for a buttonhole machine, Joy likes this one.
Oh, and that's another thing. I saw a FOF. So I don't know if you heard in my stream yesterday, and the short I released. There's a sewing machine store in downtown. I've been avoiding it, and it says sewing machine store in giant. It's a giant white and green sign. I've been avoiding
Okay.
it because just from the outside, they have every ruler you could possibly think of. Like
Oh,
every
right. And you need to literally go. You're not allowed to go in to buy rulers unless you've gone through your ruler collection and know what you actually need.
So I walk in there and I was overwhelmed. So they have, and I had this whole moral discussion about this last night on my stream. They have the Juki I want, and it starts at $888.
Oh, I should have on this. Was it on the sewing selling group on Facebook? I think. Oh, was it in Washington? Somebody was selling one for 325.
I would drive to Washington State for 325.
I can't remember. Was it Washington or was it actually in California?
I bought
I'll have to
this
go back and look. I'll screenshot it for you.
from that place. This
Yep.
is this is the kind of stuff that I use. This is the thread I use. They had walls of every color of these spools.
Yep.
Every color. It was overwhelming. And they had the gray singer, and it made me laugh because on my short you can see it has from the show a cut above, and then on
Hmm.
the other one, like one of them was from Canada because it had that so fierce
Oh,
advertisement
yep.
on it. Each box had a different TV show on it. It made me laugh.
Oh, funny.
Those gray singer. Do you know what's so funny? Like I constantly threaten that I'm gonna buy a gray singer. Eventually, one day, I'm gonna find one because I keep on saying it.
Just because, like, I need one in my collection.
It's weird.
Oh,
I have a singer. I am in a singer emporium. I am the West Coast Fred Sanford of singers. Do you know what's so funny? I was gonna call myself Fred Sanford, but first, someone I used to stream with told me that it was racist if I called myself Fred Sanford, and then
okay.
that's what I said. And then I found
And then
the
you found him, and you're like, "How is he's now we're race swapping Fred Sanford?"
no, but the other Fred Sanford blows me out of the water because he is everything that I thought I was until I met him, and I'm like, okay, I don't have that many
I'm only
sewing
second
machines.
best. I'm the impersonator.
Like at first, no, at first that was like intervention for me watching like old school Fred Sanford. I was like, I need this. I need to watch this. But he's over the years he's become organized because 4 years ago he was a mountain of sewing machines. And
Does
he's
he
kind of
live in
progressed.
that giant warehouse, or does he have a house and pay for a separate warehouse? I'm
He has
so
a house and
confused.
a separate. He has two houses because that's
Okay.
not a that it's a house per se, but
Mm-hmm.
like, do you know what's okay? Here's the thing. Like when I think of a warehouse, I'm thinking of LA, of like the Los Angeles Convention Center is so big it's unfathomable. Like when you
Yeah.
get inside, you're like, why does this building even exist? It's huge and it's modern. In Michigan, it looks like a house, but it's a warehouse, but it's just older. It's from the 70s.
Right.
But when even our modern day warehouses, the buildings are out on the outside are from the 70s, but on the inside, everything's modern, you know?
Yeah.
But we have weird retrofit laws here.
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are ruining it for everybody. Gonna make
We
us
have
have
to,
all these nasty candies that they've got in Europe for years now.
that, you know, it's really funny. It's weird to me to not see Skittles.
Oh, they're already off the market there?
I've been buying Halloween candy and I have not seen them or even Starburst.
That I think that was another one on the you're not allowed here list. It
Once a year, I
was
would
like
overindulge on candy.
1,200 that were like, nope.
Oh, and that's another thing. Like, I'm a Walmart-aholic. Tomorrow, I have to go buy a little bit more candy. I'm probably the bags, like, it's basically 21 bucks a bag for like 200 something pieces. It's not what it used to be.
No, it used to be like $7, and that was expensive feeling.
Very expensive feeling. Chocolate is through the roof. So these kids better do a dance. They better do a dance. I'm gonna have a quarter bucket.
Right,
I'm gonna have a
you got
bucket
to
out in front.
perform. I need to see you do a treat for your or for your snacky. What was
I
it?
need a
Isn't
helper
Hershey in
monkey.
trouble now for having like lead and heavy metals in some of their chocolates?
It's because no one cares anymore. Let's be real. Like,
Oh,
like
that could be. Or I was just gonna say they shouldn't like reuse the chocolate from their like chocolate from the theme park that goes around the rides to actually make chocolate with like speculation, rumor. My,
Oh,
I'm just.
so you just say allegedly, and that on the YouTube world will keep you from getting sued. There is a woman named Tasha K. Tasha
Oh,
K.
oh, she's dude. That didn't. Oh, that allegedly did not help her in her Cardi B lawsuit, and that girl needs to stop trying to move money around to get out of paying. Not that Cardi needs the money, but that girl better be careful because Cardi's
Cardi's
taking her
proven a
down.
point though. I don't even like, you know what, because it's just us here and there's no like hardcore Cardi B stand. Like I'm not
I
a
don't
fan
think.
of
I
that.
don't think. Yeah, I don't think our audience falls into that group. But if you do, that's cool too.
It is, but it's not my generation is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't appeal to me. Her music kind of it's amusing almost because they try to act tough and I'm like you couldn't punch your way out of a wet paper bag.
Yeah, I don't know. She could because didn't she allegedly get or who was it when they were working in adult entertainment would drug their clients and then steal their wallets on the way out the door, like doing it old school.
She made a movie about it.
Okay.
She made a movie about it. So I don't know if she but my whole point is all of that aside, she is not playing. She wants it. Like basically, Tasha K. Slander is still illegal in the United States of America. Slander is still illegal, and if you find a judge that will hold someone accountable, you will be held accountable.
Right.
And of all states in America, like you don't when it comes to California, if there's one thing that we have here, it's oh what's it called? It's anti
Oh,
what is
slap
it?
and anti-slap.
Yes.
But that was out of Georgia. That wasn't tried in California.
Oh, for
They
some
did that
reason
was
I thought it
from
was
Georgia.
because she lives
Mm-mm.
here, and so does the other one too. They both live up
No,
here.
Tasha K was in Georgia. No, that was
No,
in
I'm
Georgia.
talking about Cardi B. Cardi B has
Yeah.
a
Oh,
California
oh,
house.
sugar snaps. Get that. Oh no. Oh god. Oh
Cat fight,
no.
cat
No.
fight.
It's better than that. He stole the entire snack sack and took it under the bed because I wasn't looking.
It's a cat burglar.
Yeah.
So Tasha K is being sued, and she's there. Cardi B is not letting go, and she's gonna take all of her money.
No, the trial already happened. She already lost. Cardi B's trying to get her money from her, and
But
Tasha
she's
K's
like,
moving her money around, saying, "Oh, I'm broke and have no assets."
but she's going after her husband because he's from Africa. So she's saying that like he has off sea. You know, they have money
Oh, right.
overseas.
Yeah, because she did funny things with moving her money around in the last minutes to try to claim poverty. Yes, I did just have a cat burglar. Can you bring that snack sack closer? Because I don't think I can literally crawl under the bed to get it. He took it to the
Fred
deep dark
Fred
corner.
Sanford Fred Sanford has a small town store like the one beside that. I want something like that. I would open up a shop though. Like what I saw yesterday at that mega sewing store. Okay, so I walked in. I was literally wandering around like a lot. Like I was like, oh, and I stumbled towards the back because I'm nosy, and there was a man working on a Juki. And I looked and there had a row of sewing machines that needed to be fixed. And I looked at the man. Phoenix, can you hear me?
Yes. Yep.
I looked at the man and I was like, "Can I work here?" And he like ha 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 ha, not realizing I was like, "Hey, bro, I'll legitimately show up once
Right,
a
right.
week."
I'm not joking.
like, like I got time on the weekends. I got time. I will show up and work and fix all of these. Let me play with these, please. It was overwhelming. It was overwhelming.
Nope. It's my. Okay. Sorry, I'm
So,
back from my
oh
foray from
no,
under the bed.
they had every Juki you could possibly think of, and they had sergers with tables,
I know I've heard about these things like an industrial serger. I'm like, what?
and they're not cheap. They're not cheap, you know. And
No.
even their refurbished machines, they had Singer sewing machines that I've seen in the thrift store. They had one just common singer. They were selling it for $110.
Well, if you know that it works
If
and
that
it's in
was like, you're right, because these people
like
they
that's
get it
different
back
because
to.
people sell crap on Craigslist for 150, 200, and they're like, we're not sure if it works or has all the parts. Like that's a ripoff. But 110 for a well-serviced machine that stitches.
And Alibaba says you have to be certified by Juki or Janome or Singer, and that's another thing. These guys were legit. They laughed when I bought that giant spool. They kind of laughed. I was like, "This place is overwhelming," and they kind of laughed at me because they knew what I was talking about. Because they saw my face when I walked in. I was just like, I've been avoiding this place for months because I knew that was going to happen. It is sewing machine Shangri-La. They better hope I don't find $1,000 bill on the side of the street or something. Like
Right.
that place is
Oh,
crazy.
industrial singers are fast. I'm scared to use my like home version singer serger. All I know how to do is thread it. Let's see here, Allie. Common singers here refurbished and guaranteed 200 up. See, that doesn't
Wow.
seem completely crazy. Like if you know it works, it's the ones that are questionable that I'm like,
Now that you guys are saying that, I need to up my price. I've been giving those things away. Modern,
probably.
if I see a modern sewing machine, I'll sell it for $50. After I fix it and get it back up. Oh, and there was one, I gave away one to somebody's grandmother who said she missed sewing. I was like, here, I fixed this, take it. You know,
Well, yeah, I mean something made in the last 15 years. That seems reasonable because it's not like it's special yet.
and I collect them by the pound.
Yeah, you do. Like, not by the pound, by the pallet.
That's why I came on stream today because I didn't want to go to the like Evan's gonna be mad at me, but the truth is like I don't want to buy 25 sewing machines. And even if he buys 25 sewing machines, I'll end up buying 15 off of him
Yeah.
because he gives me unreal prices.
Well, then maybe you guys should work out a deal that if you can buy them wholesale, fix them back up, know that they're up and running, and resell them and get some of the and then consign them back or whatever, and he can sell like an
Ah.
actually working product.
The problem is he has a hookup to the movie industry. I know a few people here and there, but he has his foot in the door because he owns an antique shop,
Right.
and so
So then you
people
can
just go to
sell
his
them.
store.
Then you can say, I fixed up that machine and it showed up in this movie. I know that machine. I put a red dot on it and I know that one's mine.
I should put a giant GS on all the sewing machines that I repurpose
Right. So then
just
that'll be
underneath.
funny. You fix one up and it comes back on the market and you're like, oh, I can't rebuy that one. That one was already in the collection.
That is real. I should do that. That is real. That's what I was saying earlier about clothes. When you walked away, like when I do donate my clothes, I make sure they're not in my town or anywhere near where I go. Because I'm gonna end up buying my shirt because I'm gonna be like, oh, this shirt's really cool, and I'm the kind of guy that would buy my own shirt. Oh, my thumb! It works on yours too. That
Oh,
means
that's
it's
so.
a
It's an Apple thing. Oh, we've got fireworks and it looks like you're shooting shit out of your head. I don't have
powers
an Apple.
unite. Powers unite. This is I am the test person.
I thought it was a YouTube thing. Maybe it's just an Apple thing, or maybe it's because I'm not in YouTube proper. I'm just in my streaming service software. No, little shithead, you are not stealing the snack sack again. And please don't X out of the. No! Oh my god! Don't hurt me!
Cat butt.
Oh
Joy.
my gosh, there's a pumpkin going around that somebody carved out with the bottom of the pumpkin that is the back end of a cat, and they used. Oh, it was funny. Oh, let's.
Oh, Phoenix. You're. Are you still there?
I
Oh,
am still
you were
here.
stuck for a second?
Yeah, little shitheads doing stuff. Allie saw a pre-Bernina Carl Gruga two-needle hem stitcher from 1897. That I do say wow also, Joy. You are connected to all of the industries, movie, film, TV, music. Yeah, you've got some fascinating stories that we don't get to hear. And we've been very blessed for the ones that we do get to hear bits and pieces of.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yay, winter has arrived in Southern California. I'm gonna bust all my coats out. Wind is finally here.
Oh yes, Ellie's seen this pumpkin, the cat ass pumpkin. Yeah. It makes me laugh every time I've seen it the past 3 days. I had to stop myself from getting a pumpkin yesterday. Yesterday we had a huge multicultural experience. We drove far out, stopped at a stop, made a purchase, got back in the car, put on the local station that was playing like Mexican rock music as we
So
drove to the Chinese buffet, and then our next stop was going to be one of the little corner stores so I could fill up on my Indian spices.
that's actually very LA of you. That's like
I
what
was,
people in LA.
I know,
Oh,
I was like, "Welcome to America."
that's why, like, it depends on where you live, but where I live, it's extremely diverse. Like, I always talk about, like, I'm addicted to Filipino food, Armenian food, Indian food, cats that sing.
Get your teeth out. No,
Oh,
this is
that's
my
funny.
snack sack, and it's almost time. It's dinner time. You'd rather steal snacks than go eat dinner?
Oh man, my other computer. What does that say?
Don't
Matt
knock over
Perry's
my glass
passing
cup.
and
You are not.
shocking and oh, Justin Trudeau is tweeting. Am I subscribed to you, Justin Trudeau? I guess I
Oh
am because you're
God.
popping up on my screen.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about. Oh, he dropped the microphone over. I cannot believe that last year the maids picked up 4% of attributable of the deaths last year that happened in Canada. The maids accounted for 4% of them.
That's extremely high. I want people to realize, like, and because I only play dumb on the internet. 1% of anything is. Imagine if 1% of the population were psychotic, you wouldn't leave your house.
Right. I know, and now they're going to open it up to mentally unwell and drug addicts. Like the maids are just going to come and clean. Like you, Canada needs a huge immigration policy because their population numbers are going to go through the are just going to tank.
I'm really glad I did my traveling before the world went mental.
Yeah.
I've been to the UK, Israel, and I've been from Vancouver all the way to Saskatoon. And the worst thing people ever said was, "I don't like your president," and that was in the George Bush days.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I that's so weird. Oh, Allie, Justin has hijacked any friend list or connection he can. Yeah, I think I don't know. I follow Viva Fry, so I might be on like his blocked list and not even know it because I just listen to people who complain about him.
Do you know what's so funny? I subscribed, like, if everyone that I am subscribed to is complaining about someone, I'll subscribe to that person. If there's a few politicians I've unsubscribed to because I can't take their stuff, but Justin Trudeau is one of them. People were talking about him, so I just subscribed to him.
Right, because it's good to hear from the horse's ass what the chicanery is.
Honestly, I'm one of those people, like, speculation is one thing, but I want to know what you really said, and then I'll make my own interpretation from that.
Exactly. Just can I have the primary literature, please? Give me the. I don't want this pre-filtered version of. I think that's why I'm sick of the whole mainstream media right now because everything is so whatever the party line story is. You're like are gonna feed you the bullshit and you're gonna eat it. Don't X out of the show. You no. Hey. Hey. No.
It is so weird to see my nephew on ESPN. What channel am I watching?
No.
It is so weird. My nephew plays for Cal. Oh, your cat is not giving up.
No, I'm gonna have to walk to the other room and put the snack sack in the drawer because I'm not gonna enjoy the rest of the
Look
stream.
at
I'll
that
be
face.
right
Look at that
back.
face. The cat's like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Okay, he can say. Justin has hijacked any friend list or connection he can. Sorry. He really has.
Yeah, that was super stressful.
It's just weird that cats are from a different planet.
He is, and that guy is so unlike any cat who's ever lived with me. The way he loves people, strangers came into the house to like do some work. He's like, "Will you pet me? Will you give me snacks?" He's so friendly with strangers.
He's just getting his bearings.
He is.
Do you know Odin's been around for almost 2 years?
Wow.
I thought about it.
Well,
So,
she knows she's got a food handler. It helps.
Trudeau is just weird to me.
Yeah, he is. That whole stuff after the divorce and then taking his kids to the movies and was like, one day, I want my family and I need privacy during this time of transition. Also, I'm gonna tweet pictures of my kids at the movies. And did his daughter really want to see Oppenheimer rather than like he took his son to see the Barbie movie and his daughter to go see Oppenheimer?
Maybe his son is more of a Barbie movie kind of guy.
True. I'm not saying that it's not true. Not to like fall into the gendered stereotypes.
You know what? I'm not trying to get too hardcore into it, but my salty father went with me to go see Spice World.
Awesome.
You know,
Right. Yeah, yeah, I get it. Allie says there is one thing to put our Prime Minister into context. Watch his answers and questions, period, at Parliament. Questions at Parliament, and then how he and the ministers put their thoughts out. Yeah. Everybody's collaborating to, like, put this weird version of a narrative that doesn't make any sense. But what do I know? I'm just a weirdo on the internet.
that is literally my line. I say that all the time. My new line is, I don't know what goes on upstairs, officer. I just play the piano.
Right. Oh, Killer, hasn't seen either. The hype kind of ruined Oppenheimer, and I'll be dead before I see Barbie. All right, Joy, have fun. Don't fight too much getting those buttonholes in. You got this. Just beat that machine into submission.
And I will be around alive again tomorrow.
You will be
I'm
alive.
a mess
Hopefully, you'll be
today.
alive again.
I have a ton of stuff I have to sew, but I have to take a day off or I get burnt out.
Yeah.
Because parenting and sewing every day, I just get burnt out. So I'll be around tomorrow, Joy. Thank you. It's great to see you.
Indeed.
And I
Yeah, well,
loved hearing about the pagan wedding.
I know. Going to see Oppenheimer is kind of like watching the Titanic or the Hindenburg. Like, what's going to be so exciting in the middle? Because we already know the end.
I had this argument a long time ago with my ex-girlfriend because she really wanted to see Moses. And I walked up and I gave her a Bible. I was like, let me tell you, I know how this one's going to end. The Russell Crowe version, I could be wrong, but it was like 3 hours. I almost had an anxiety attack towards the end of the movie. Like, oh, I'll never forgive her for that one.
Oh, that's funny. It's been a hot minute since I've been to the movie theater. I like to sit in my own house with my shithead cats.
That's what I've like, honestly, like people I live in the valley. LA is huge, but when people talk about all these crazy things that go on in LA, I'm like, man, I don't see any of it because I don't participate in that madness. Like my version of
Right.
LA is quite peaceful and quiet.
Yeah, right. I don't go to that side of town.
Even when I do go to that side of town, I don't see it, you know.
But yeah.
Downtown is a perfect example. I heard a lot of terrible things, and I finally started going down there. And you know what? It is like it is still downtown. If you go on certain streets, if you like, you are in a scary area. But like the Fashion District, the Santee Alley, that place is clean. I mean, like they literally are like washing the street. It's crazy. It's just crazy how much it's changed.
I think they gotta make something pretty so that all the influencers like don't have all the homeless people in the back of their videos.
And you know what's really funny? I have a mount, and when I show the slow version, you can see it. There were these cops that were driving in both lanes, and I think they thought that I was like creeping behind him, but the cop was in both lanes. So when I finally came up next to him, he was going to say something to me, but when he leaned and saw a camera was in my passenger side, he kind of just
Hmm.
smiled at me and rolled his window up. But
Oh, that's funny.
I swear he was going to say something to me. They're nicer because they know I'm not, they know I don't live in downtown. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they, same thing with Hollywood. In Hollywood, like those weird TikTokers have taken over Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah. With their rented McClellans or whatever those fancy cars are that I'd never heard of until 2 years ago.
For some reason, Hollywood always felt far away. I think it's because I lived there, and it's a whole different planet than my hometown. But it's like a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive from my house. One day, I'm gonna go down there with my phone, and I'm just gonna drive down Hollywood Boulevard and show you. There are just TikTokers. Like it's the strangest thing. People follow trends. They follow each other. It is the strangest thing. There's not too. You don't get that downtown because they have a no in the callejones, which just means alley shops, they have a no photography policy.
Yep. And that makes sense. Not everybody you don't necessarily go into a public place and expect to have to be on somebody else's show up on somebody else's TikTok or Insta or whatever.
And a lot of like most of the stuff down there is bootleg.
Oh, was this that schmucko kid who walked into people's houses? Killer Ray said saw a video of a TikToker in London dancing on top of somebody's car and getting pushed off the car by the owner. I'm gonna forget that one guy's name. And then there's that one, what is it, Joey Somali, who's seeing the inside of some Japanese prison cells for being a stupid TikToker in Japan.
Do you know I couldn't take that video? I couldn't like I tried to watch the video, the real video, I couldn't take it. I couldn't last more than 15 seconds when he started disrespecting people. And I'll tell you why. Um It's true. As a person of color, it is true that if you go to certain places, you're going to get stared at, but they're not harming you. They're not doing. They're from there, and they've never seen anyone that looks like you. Okay,
Right.
I've traveled. People stare at you. That's one thing. It's their culture too. It's different when you go to someone else's country and scream at them when, especially when their culture is based on respect.
I know, right? You're doing the exactly.
Oh, you don't do that. You
They fucked
don't.
around and found out hard.
No, because I saw these videos about, oh, if you travel this and this, and it's true, but like I had a good time everywhere I've been. I've been to Wales and they were down home in Rio, but like people stare at you because you're not from there. I can tell when people aren't from LA off the on the
Mhm.
jump. On the jump. Like I can tell, right?
But because they got that like look of the glazed, overwhelmed look, and they're like, "What?"
Well, also like people like Europeans wear designer stuff like
Oh,
and it
yeah, they look nice. They look dressed and put together, and not in
full outfit.
leggings, flip
Like
flops, and a baggy T-shirt.
full outfit. I mean, like with the loafers with no socks, the shorts, the they got the full outfit on.
Right, and all the ladies have their makeup on. I'm so like envious, and then like I just don't always feel like I have the time or care. But I'm like, should I put my face on more often, just for the practice of putting my face on?
And I don't condemn people because I travel and I know what it is to stick out. I like sticking out. I like it when people walk up to me and ask me where I'm from and stuff like that. I don't have a problem with that. But
Hmm.
there's a line. And when you go around disrespecting, there, I'm really deep into Black Twitter. I am really into Black Twitter. And there is a young lady who went to Dubai and she screamed at a taxi cab driver and lost it. And she's still in jail.
Right, yeah.
You
Well,
do
and
not
wasn't
go
there the one
to.
lady who was like mad that she couldn't drive her car into or be the driver in Dubai? And it's like, yeah, some places ladies aren't allowed to drive.
Yeah, but I would never go to a country that I felt I don't know if I felt that my actions do not coincide with that country, I wouldn't go. I
Hmm.
spit on the ground. I spit a lot. You'll never see me in Singapore.
Right.
Hmm. I might fit in to Hollywood.
Yes, because you're always dapper and debonair.
Oh, people get dressed up here. People get dressed up here.
And it would be less cold.
It's just
Yeah.
LA's it's a different planet.
Every place is, and everything's just so changing so quickly. And
A lot of it is socioeconomics too, because for as much as I praise downtown used to be bootleg heaven. I mean, they would have endless streets of anything down there is fake. If you buy a pair of Levi's, they're fake. If you buy, and like anyone who knows this, all the Balenciaga down there, it's all fake, but it looks good. It does. It really does. I'm not a snob. I'll wear it. But there's only 6 blocks of it when we used to have 30 blocks of it.
they just don't have the money anymore. Well, do you think too that since the world went crazy this most recent time and all these like mom and pop shops closed down, is the cities, not just in LA County, but in places in general, going to come in and take over and either retrofit them for apartments, or what is it in Chicago because they're having issues with all of the robberies, that they're going to have like state run grocery stores.
Oakland, they have an initiative now of it's called Take Your City Back, where they're encouraging the citizens to basically deter the people who break windows and break into cars because Oakland is now one of the most dangerous places on earth, and they're saying it's not even people from Oakland.
No, it's probably all the. Oh, okay. This might. I don't care if if everybody hates me after this. This is sanctuary cities are great in theory, but we also need to have some like control and order. We're just we're doling out cash to everybody and saying, "Hey, young men of military age, just walk over our borders and ravage us."
Well, also its reputation, like Oakland has this toughy reputation. So people like LA does too. People come here, like our crime rates are going back to the 90s because people are moving here trying to prove themselves. Don't come here to
Right?
harm
All the
people.
TikTokers are like, "We can get famous by being stupid here."
Please don't move here to be tough. We're full. You hear me burping? We are full of tough guys in LA. And the same thing happened to Oakland. Oakland actually has a really hardcore reputation. And so what happened is hardcore people started going there trying to prove themselves. And now it's a scary place. And there's Too Short, the rapper. I have Rock the Bells radio because I'm a yuppie. I was listening to it in my car today. And like he was basically saying like these people have ruined a neighborhood. They can't have community centers anymore because people won't want to work at a community center. They can't have, and even in my day, like they had community centers everywhere. These helped people. They had a safe place to
Mm-hmm.
do their homework, play basketball, take a shower, get a
Yeah.
meal, and they can't have these in the city anymore because the workers are getting their cars broken into.
Right.
They called it something that made me laugh. It was like boopy but like when you boop, to me, a boop is a boop on the nose like you do to a
Right.
baby.
Like I could have just given little shit right now.
They call Oakland boop, like, and it makes me feel so old that they like have all these terms I've never heard of. He was talking, he's like, yeah, we're Boop City, and I'm driving, I'm like, that doesn't sound right, bro. That doesn't sound tough, man. That doesn't sound tough. But they're Boop City because and San Francisco. It's San Francisco as well because they're right next to each other. But like, if don't drive a nice car into the city because your windows will get smashed.
Yeah. So crazy. So crazy.
And it's not like that here. It's not. It is not like anywhere near like that here at all. So Oakland has, it's sad. And even people who are from there are like, we're not doing this.
I just broke another needle. All right, we're done with this project for today. I will
Boop
pick up
City
something else
sounds
to
like
do.
what you'd name your sewing room. Thank you. I lost it. I was in my car and I lost it. I'm like, that's not tough, man. And these guys are tough. Like, I wouldn't say it to their face.
Well, I guess it's better
Oh,
than Bump City.
that's London. When they tested the water, this was pre-COVID. I got this from Kate Smurthwaite. They tested the water of the Thames or some sewage something, and 70% every time they pulled back the water, it tested positive for cocaine.
Oh
They love that stuff in the UK.
no!
But like, okay, we have to remember, first off, the UK is the size of Kentucky. Population wise, they do have a lot of people living in a certain area. Alexa, how many people live in London?
In 2019, the population of London was 8.99 million people.
Okay, that's a lot of people because there's 10 million people that live in LA County, and that's not even
Mhm.
counting Orange County or Ventura. That's a lot of people in a small place. I've been to Kentucky and the UK.
Right, and they're
Not
on
that
an island. They're stuck with each other. They don't. They can't like westward. There's no westward expansion.
Yeah, if I got bored, I could drive to Kentucky. I'm so glad I brought up Boop City. I will not get over that.
That's funny. All right. Do I want to hands? What are we doing next? Let's do this real fast. So we saw it. I have my bloomers. They're all done. I started to machine sew down for the waistband, but I haven't decided if I'm going to make a drawstring or feed through some elastic. But I got 1/4 down, started to go through the back, and realized I was stitching over the lace and making it not nice. So I'm going to just real quick hand whip stitch it down so I can see both sides. Oh, I do have a needle.
Kilroy, that looks great, by the way.
Thank
Kilroy
you.
says, "So I've got to move to England." That's what you're saying. And the
I
funny
guess if
thing
you
is,
want blow.
that did not pop up on
I
Wave Video, but it
I
popped up
know that's
on.
funny. Well,
I'm
I
showing
did
you
make
my
sure to change my comment settings in the YouTubes to be like, don't hold anything for review, just show it. Because
I need to do that too, but honestly, YouTube's censorship. I said this yesterday. It's so confusing. I don't even get it anymore. They're literally on a case by case basis.
it is, and it doesn't make sense whether it's going through AI or I don't understand. Like, is it going through AI? B, all the stuff with human review. are these humans who actually is English their first language? Because there's some, well, at least I've heard with the community standards strikes or whatever, that the folks who are reviewing that don't necessarily understand parody, comedy, satire, and humor because they're not native English speakers. And
I'll tell you my one experience. Alibaba said
I know,
sewed over the roughy fluffy.
yes, I did. So I unpicked it so that my ruffy fluffy lace would still look cute. So hence I am with needle and thread.
My
And
one
yes, this is.
experience. Oh, sorry,
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
looking.
say white thread on black, yes, but I'm just gonna take little stitches and nobody's gonna see it, even though I just moved the black thread. Continue, good sir.
A long time ago, I'm obsessed with Faith No More. I am a stan for Patton in any band that he's ever been in. So I tried to put the end of a Faith No More video in, and I've told this story 100 times. YouTube like gave me a strike, and all of a sudden I wasn't able to do anything even on my main account. I was like, oh, they're gonna take my channel down. And then I hit appeal because they were like, oh, we're gonna give you a copyright strike. Do you appeal this? And I emailed them and I literally said, I just want to rock out, bro. I have no idea what's going on. I just want to listen to Faith No More. And they took everything off.
Oh, that's impressive. Yeah, there's
So
so it's such YouTube is such a fickle mistress, which is why
so
if you're a creator, diversify, Rumble, BitChute, Odyssey, Restream. There's so Kick, Twitch, whatever.
in a
Don't lay all your eggs in one streaming basket.
I panicked and I just spoke to them in plain English. I was like, I just want to rock out, bro. I don't know what you're doing to me and why. Like, and it worked.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, there it goes.
Underrated band, the guitar player thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
and he does classes.
Wow. Patton, he has a ton of bands. There's one, Peeping Tom. There's Tomahawk. He was in
Tommy and the
another.
Furies.
Oh, he was in another band with Cool Keith. Like, and he sings opera. Patton is no joke. Like, Patton is a real, true musician. And I kiss no one's tail, and I kiss that man's tail. And I am not. I'm a stand for no one, and Patton's awesome.
Well, who was it? Was it Frances Cobain? Did she just marry? What was it? Tony? Who's she married? Some famous kid, and Michael Stipe officiated their wedding service.
Oh wow. That there in California, like here where I live, there's a whole class of people I will never come across. Like there's a video when I believe his name is Will Smith's son's name Jalen.
I think so. Oh the poor son who his friend was sleeping with his mom.
She's depressing.
She's she's so gross.
She's going on a tour of lies right now. There's a video of Jalen walking around this property crying, and all these people on Twitter were like, "Oh, like they were saying all these things." I wrote on Twitter, I was like, no one will afford to even be able to walk on that property. They live in such a gated community that like it's
You're right.
not
You can't
even
even sniff. Which is how did somebody end up climbing RFK's fence unless it was a planned event? Like I do not understand how that was even real.
it depends on the level of security. Like I'm gonna tell you, as someone who has access to people in the Pacific Palisades, you just can't go walking up in people in that neighborhood up there. The cops will roll
No.
up on you. And I'm going to tell you, in that area, it's mainly people of color that live in there now. and you will get rolled up on by the
Well, and
cops.
that's funny too. That makes it even more interesting if it was a plan. Because didn't his son just marry whatever her last name is, Fox, who was a CIA operative? Like, why would he let after all that the Kennedy family has been through? Why would you let your kid marry a CIA agent? I
I
do
don't know.
not
Let your,
understand.
the old cliche, keep your enemies close, I
Close
guess.
and your friends close, or your friends close and your enemies closer. Yes, maybe.
You never know. You never know with people what their motivation is.
No, and is I the rumor on the street that Nevada, no, not Nevada, New Mexico is actually going to charge Baldwin again after 2 years, almost to the day.
Well, they have nothing else to do. They have the population of like small towns there, that entire state. They have nothing else.
Right, I know. I think our town is probably bigger than whole
I
town.
because of the internet recently, it's weird to me how no one lives in New Mexico, Wyoming, like parts of like Nevada is abandoned.
It's like mountains. It's like literally not places you can live.
You're roboting again.
Oh, yeah. The circus.
Oh, you're fully
He's
roboting.
really, yeah.
Oh, there you are. Is that you? Are you back?
I don't know. Am I back?
Slowly but surely
You
you're
know,
coming back. You're
okay,
now you're
don't
like an
yeah,
old
yeah,
school. Now you're like an old school Godzilla movie where your mouth isn't matching your voice.
I have to make sure I always make pretty faces.
I have to watch one of those movies now. I have a ton. I know this is a shock to no one. I have a ton of VHSs, and I have like all the old school Mothra, Gamera. I have all the old school Godzillas.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should do a cheesy movie. I'm trying to unplug. I know it sounds weird, but I'm decluttering and I'm trying to unplug for someone who lives on YouTube.
That's all right. I just live in this weird world of weirdness. I don't know.
But I think we all do. Is there ever a such thing as normal? Like,
No, no, there's not. I don't because well, normal is overrated. B, what is this random construct that doesn't mean anything besides a definite definition in a dictionary of average? And when do we get to fight back that just because something is average doesn't make it right? Average can be completely wrong and inappropriate.
well, are you saying like everybody could have an ideal and be wrong? Is what you're saying?
Well, that too. No, um, no, but like that whole everybody wants to be like normal, but normal is just what's the of the bell curve.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
that doesn't mean that just because you it there doesn't make you right. You
I
just fall
live
there.
I live in the land of white picket fences, like total American beauty, and it is not like what people think it is.
Right. Because what happens behind closed doors is what happens behind closed doors.
And people that I've known for 20 years, 18, 17 years, they act like children.
Right. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm glad you showed up today because I was going to tell you. Yesterday, experienced a Gandalf style little pipe that was actually USB electrical, but designed for marijuanas. And you press the
Wow.
button. Yeah, I should have got the brand of it. It was little, it wasn't huge, but it was I don't know 3.5, 4 inches, maybe five at the biggest. Pipe with a nice
I'm
bowl that you must have like screwed it in that has a USB charged
ooh.
heating mechanism. So it's not a vape, it's actually a pipe, but
I'm always
yeah.
in shopping for something like that because I have I have yet to find a glass version of my old wood pipes that holds up. Like I have one that I will not flash on your stream. It's the
Yeah,
only one I've ever met that holds up.
yeah,
But
this was plastic.
I
Is it wood or I think it must have been plastic, but
I like the old school church warden's pipe style. And
right.
so we call it the Gandalf pipe. Every
Yep.
glass version I've ever had of that has smashed. Every glass version.
Well, the stem being so long and slender and fragile, like that's just a recipe for disaster.
But because they come from overseas, they're massively made, and that's why they're so thin. Like, if
Yeah.
you went to a specialty shop and said, "Hey, brother, I need a pipe that's like a foot and a half long," they would make it thick for you, like a vase, you know?
Right, exactly. It's like getting the run of the mill, from what I've heard, cheap crack pipes versus a nice one that can withhold the temperature better. Oh, Allie, that's funny. Like average weather is 100% incorrect. There are old school 1970s vapes that look so cool too. I didn't even know they had. Wow, okay, I am young sometimes because I did not know they had vapes in the 70s. But thank you for learning us something new.
Every day you learn something new.
Sometimes twice on Sundays.
So I bought more gold. Okay, and I had this discussion. A few people think I should go on the hood, and I'm talking about my Roman cloak. That this thing is so spectacular. I'm loving that purple fabric. I was going for red, but I went back to the same place, and the guy only had pink. And I'm like, no, I'm
Mm,
not gonna make a pink. Pink isn't like regal or like pink isn't my color, is what I'm trying to say.
fair. But I told them too.
You're roboting again.
No,
So I wanna I'm probably gonna put these on the
no,
side.
it's okay. Match my fabric. It's
It's stuck on the
cheap.
bitter face. You're stuck on the bitter face. That is so oh there you go. It's slowly coming back. Oh man. Yeah, so I'm gonna I bought opposite ends. And the funny thing is, like, these things are $3 a piece, and it adds up.
Yeah, that is expensive.
So, like, when I was throwing them in this pad shop is you walk in and they hand you a basket because they know you're gonna go
Right.
crazy.
Oh, that's interesting, Allie. They had Sergeant from Up in Smoke movie that turns into a lizard one. Use interesting.
Oh, I smoke Baracchini pipes, so I get their catalog. The wood pipes because I no longer smoke nicotine. And so THC and wood are not necessarily friends. They look cool. That's why I'm and I'll show you like my corn cob is the resin gets so clogged I can't even take the stem off.
Oh no, you gotta soak it in alcohol like an old nib pen.
This is a Baracchini that I broke because I bite things because I'm like arr,
Oh
arr.
no, you needed something else to gnaw on. You
I
needed
know
your beaver teeth going.
anal retentive. What is it when you bite things? Like I'm one of those people.
Well, it's
I have a
the
oral
problem is with
fixation.
mastication, an oral fixation.
Exactly. I have a huge collection. I actually have a really extensive collection of pipes, but because I no longer smoke nicotine out of them, they react different.
Right. Oh, that's interesting, Ellie, the character in the movie used a 1970s vape. I'm going to have to go back and watch that. Can I complain for a second? Why at frickin' Joanne Fabrics is nude power mesh $18 a yard? Frickin' power mesh.
Yeah.
I refuse to get it.
Yeah.
Even found some in the like the clearance section because it was like just barely a yard. So I got it a little bit cheaper. But like, WTF, it's freaking power mesh. I
They
just.
they wanted $50 for that orange sherbet fabric. And I went to Hobby Lobby and they wanted 11.
Do not tear holes in my power mesh, cat. No! It is not for you.
Yay, hello, butterfly.
Hey,
You are
butterfly!
missed.
It's been a hot minute. Nice to see you. Yeah, he is feisty for the power mesh. He's feisty for a lot of things, though. This cat is just pure feist.
It's okay, butterfly. We know you're on a world tour.
You are. That is A-okay. There's sewing machines that need love and whatever else that needs your attention. You are A-okay.
Oh, Alibaba, I need to hear that because I do need stems. Because these are fancy pipes. That's why I keep them, because they're not cheap. And like over the years, they're slowly filing down because I've had a ton of them. But I can't smoke a pipe that used to have nicotine in it because I no longer smoke nicotine.
Right. It's like the taster, is it gonna are you afraid that it's gonna like trigger that, like, oh, I need the rest of it that's supposed to go in here?
Yes, all of the above. Because I've been so good this far. I've been like 6 or 7 years I haven't touched nicotine,
Yeah.
Yes, I'm glad to be home from Maine.
Oh,
awesome.
I hope you enjoyed Maine, that you didn't get too many black fly bites. You moved from Allie across the border, and
we have those things here. Those black flies are insane.
I know.
Whatever those little mite tiny things are.
Why are you?
No, wait, I'm gonna go off on my cape. I'm gonna go off.
I think that's great. $3 a piece is expensive for those, but it's not. But it feels like painful.
There was one time, and this was one day I told myself, this was like 3 or 4 trips ago. I told myself, okay, let's just go crazy. I get to the counter and the guy was like, okay, awesome, $47. And I looked at myself on the drive home. I'm looking in the rearview mirror. I'm like, bro, you just spent $47 on patches. Feel shame right now.
Right, you are cut off for 6 months. Use up what you have.
But now my patch box is like so dank, I don't need to go to the patch shop for a while. I do not need to go for a while.
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed Maine.
Awesome.
I've not been there. There's lots of places I haven't been yet, though.
I've been all the way to Gouldsbury, Maine, and it's so far north. It is above the Canadian line. It's that little swoosh at the top of America.
Yep.
Maine is beautiful. I've been from Bengal. How do they say it? I don't have that accent. Bengal. I can't do it.
I thought that word ended with an R. Isn't it Bangor?
It's Bangor.
Yeah.
But they have that like Maynard accent, when they say it. Where
right, that like weird French, Scottish thing that I don't understand.
I knew somebody that was from Maine, and she was an interesting human being. She actually reminds me of my... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully most human beings are interesting, or just don't waste my time.
She was a world traveler, and she inspired me to go back out in the world.
Good.
She was a good kid. She inspired me to go out and see what was beyond my own fence.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Well, I was also like 22, 23 years old.
Right. But Earl in the casa. Oh, sweet. We're almost done with this bit of hand sewing, and then maybe I will machine stitch the last part where I know I'm not going to get my frilly lace. Oh, it means put oil in the cart. Interesting. Put Earl in the cart. Okay. We are not reading words literally. We are reading them phonetically for having a meaning that I didn't get. Put Earl in the car.
Is that like park the car?
Yes.
See, I can do that, but I can't say Bangor.
That's all right. I don't think they're going to ostracize us yet. Maybe next week.
I did a lot. Like back in the day, I got accused of South bashing. I would just point out certain things.
Ooh, Dungeness crab. It is the best. That is the crab of the best coast. Also, the best
Absolutely.
voicers. Now I need to make some new pants. Right? You need to do one or two with an elasticated waistband instead of a fitted waistband.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Vacations are awesome like that. Well, let's be real though. Isn't this like the eating time of year from November on? You know.
Oh, some you could think of that. Yes, it's seasons spending, seasons eating. No, seasons eating, seasons spending, and seasons drinking.
I don't drink, but I'm a consumer.
All the chowder. Yeah, ah.
Oh, that's
I know
awesome.
that's funny. I went to the discount grocers market yesterday because we haven't been in hot minute. It was like a brand new store, but I found a dairy-free white clam chowder, and I'm very curious because I do prefer me a white chowder to a red chowder.
You know what's really funny? It depends on what kind of mood I'm in. I like them both equally. It's been a long. I told this story last night. I drove all the way to San Francisco from LA for a bowl of chowder. That's how like much I love clam chowder, and it just hits different. It hits different in San Francisco. I don't even know if the wharf is open like that anymore, but back in the day the wharf was like the place to be. You'd eat your chowder bowl watching the sea
Mm-hmm.
lions entertaining the dumb humans. Like that
Yep.
was the place to be. They even have seats along the bottom of the wharf where you can watch the sea lions.
Right. I know. I wonder if they've had to move those because the stupid humans trying to interact with the sea lions and then getting hurt.
Pretty much from what I've seen, most of the city is shut down.
Yeah.
The wharf is still there, but like most of the shops and stuff, it's a bigger version of what happened to Los Angeles. But in Los Angeles, it's more economics, and it has nothing to do with the people. It has everything to do with the money's just not there.
Well, yeah, because lockdowns, how can a small business operate if they have to do everything online and they're not set up for it? And they're some like 60-year-old couple who's ran their tailoring shop or whatever for
Yep,
45 years. And they're like, computer, what's a website? Like,
that's real. I walk into certain shops and I'm like, "Ooh, I can tell you've owned this store since before I was born." There are certain
right, or
shops
they
that
inherited it from their family and then these whole family legacies are just like up in smoke. Ooh, BC. Okay, Allie likes British Columbia Ferries red clam chowder. Ooh, you've got the recipe. Even they discontinued it and they gave out the recipe. Well, that was thoughtful. Oh, Butterfly enjoys San Francisco's crab Louis salads.
Mm.
And now we're getting into the hunger, and we're into the food portion of the
We have
program.
officially entered the food. You know what? I wouldn't even trust it if they had red chowder by my house. I wouldn't even
Right,
trust it.
it's you cannot eat that corset bus. He's down here like
So your cat reminds me of a puppy. Dogs do that. Dogs chew through everything.
yeah. If it sounds like mouse bones chomping in his face, like I need to keep my nails short, do my nails again because he will try to chew through my fingernails. Ooh, Kilroy. At lots of places, it doesn't make sense to have an online presence. No, because in some places, the internet is so crappy you can't connect, and your audience is of an age sometimes that is not internet savvy like that. Oh, you have chips ready just for this moment. I know, because I don't like to. I don't eat while I'm sewing because I like to keep my hands clean. I don't like to have
Same.
oil. Oh, dill pickle potato chips.
I'm really weird. You know what's really funny? I'm one of those people. Man, people have rules like don't eat in the car. I'm driving with my knees and eating a burrito. I don't have rules against that. I'm weird about eating in the sewing room.
Right, there's no. It's enough that you get to have a beverage, but away from the electric machines and
I
away
have a
from the white
whole
fabric.
kitchen. I have a kitchen with a big dining room table. Like we can go sit at the table and be civilized. Like we could do everything in here but eat.
Right? Oh.
Even my son, I love him so much. He respects my rules. We've never had to cross that road because he just does what I do, and he does not eat in here because he has not seen me do it.
Right. Oh
Not like
man.
full meal.
Dill chips are good. I got yesterday at the Indian corner store their what is it? Gajak, which is Indian peanut brittle. Oh my goodness. It's got jaggery, which is a spice, and some fennel in there, and it's not like an overly sweet. Like I don't know, everything American is like sweet to the nth degree that all you taste is sweet frequently, and I like a flavor and not just my teeth to hurt.
That's so real. Like when you go, even if you go to Canada or Mexico, they have less sugar in their food and it tastes different.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Then I don't have the secrets on the dill pickle chips. I should have brought the chips we grabbed yesterday from the corner store. What else did I get? Oh, these awesome split dehydrated salted chickpeas. Those are so good.
Butterfly with
Crunchy and
most
nutty.
companies, you should be able to order it because I'm obsessed with Cheetos popcorn and they really do not sell it in my town because we're health freaks here in California. And so I order it from Frito Lay's.
Right, you could probably order it from Lay's. Little shithead, what are you doing now?
They'll send it straight to your house. They'll send you the box and everything like you're a vendor. They love me. I get the Frito Lay catalog and everything.
Ooh, let's see here. Kilroy likes salty stuff, and they're starting to try to make salty stuff sweet too. I hate it. Yeah, yeah. That's how I feel about sweet gherkins. I like a nice kosher dill or a ferment. Just give me the. It can be
Ew, a
spicy.
sweet.
I just don't like a sweet pickle. Give me
Neither
any other
do I.
flavor of pickle.
Neither do I. You know what's really funny? I don't think I covered my mouth because I legitimately don't think I've ever had a sweet pickle before like that ever.
Oh, I
I'm a,
have, and the answer is please take this out of my mouth.
I need a real pickle. It goes back to the Kilroy. If you don't quote me on that one,
I just like salty things in my mouth. I don't like. Just give me the salt.
I
I
need
guess
a
we're in like the
real
salty
pickle.
cracker crew.
I'm from the Butter Tins. There was an old commercial. It was Meet the Butter Tins, and they're putting butter on all their stuff. I'm that guy. I am that guy.
Oh my god! Speaking of ancient things that I didn't know existed, we watched on the YouTubes today. Halloween is or no Grinch night is Halloween, something like that. I don't even know if this is a real Dr. Seuss story, but it's Halloween night and the Grinch comes down from the mountain and they've all got their alarms. I've never seen it. Was so cute.
You know, everything has been remade. Everything on Earth has
No,
been
this was from
remade.
1977.
Really?
Yeah, no, this was not a remake. This was an original classic that I'd not right, because I think we also have a clip of me saying, put it in my mouth. So some stuff I like it in, and some stuff you better take it out. Kilroy likes kosher dill chips. Oh my gosh, yes, please. Somebody scored, or we're in the shock of, how did you make such a stupid play? You're killing me, bro.
I completely forgot my timer worked. Yay, it took me 3 days to figure out that my timer was off. I came home and I'm like, why are my lights on during the day? That's a bill killer, you know?
Oh, right, because is it. Are we turning the clocks back next week? Like, when are we?
Do you want to hear?
Are we lose? Is the world going stupid again, or do we get to skip that this year?
Do you want to hear something really sad? Because like almost everything in my house, except for my alarm clock and my microwave and my stove, are like online. Everything just changes the time automatically.
Okay, so you're just gonna wake up and it's just gonna be different. You're like, why am I so grumpy? Oh, right.
I do not do well, excuse me, with this transition. I'm not a morning person, and when it's dark outside, I'm like, this is sleep time.
Right.
Is it 18:45? But let's be real, like I go to work at 4:30, so it's always dark when I'm out. But like, it's
I'm not
weird.
a morning person, but it's always dark when I leave for work.
See, but the thing is, I don't have to interact with people.
Fair.
I go and make sure everything is in line for everybody else, and then I go home.
Yeah, I don't get to do that. I actually have to like do a 9 to 5 stuff. Ooh, Butterfly tried Kate's butter for the first time in Maine. Officially your favorite.
Ooh,
2 a.m. next Sunday. Okay.
I'm a Butterton. I love butter, and margarine is just a buttered flavored oil for anyone who needs to hear that. But margarine's good too.
I was going to say, my Jewish granny would be like, and that's all we had. There was never butter at her house. There was schmaltz, and then there was margarine.
I grew up on Imperial.
Schmaltz is rendered chicken fat.
I grew up on Imperial.
Okay, yep.
So in no way, shape, or form am I judging it at all. I'm just saying, like, I'm in my older years, I'm addicted to soft butter.
I'm addicted to the olive oil spray or the butter flavored spray because in my house, no calories, no problem. But I know what I can't have around because
I know. I bought a bag of.
I don't like being average. I want to be above average. Below average. If average is overweight and I want to be like my normal weight, which is not overweight, do I want to be above average or below average?
Okay,
I guess below average.
If you really want to have the talk, we are one of the biggest countries on earth.
They're huge.
But Mexico's right behind us because they have our food and their food, and the UK. If we're number one, they're number two.
Right, and all the countries that we had military bases in Asia that didn't have tinned. Even frick that Hawaii. We like ruined Hawaii with spam and tinned beans.
Hawaii is bad now though because the people that are from there can't afford to live there and they can't go. Like it's different in the States because if your life stinks, you can move to Kansas City or you can move.
Right, you don't have to like pack up and get on a boat or like have your stuff shipped by sea.
And everything is so expensive in Hawaii, they can't afford to leave. Like, I'm not kidding you. At least 3 times in my life, I've moved somewhere else and completely reinvented myself. You know what I'm saying? And started from the bottom up. Like, literally working at a like Starbucks or a Carl's Jr., But I was able to do that because I live on a massive swash of land,
Right.
Margarine, boo!
No, but my favorite chocolate frosting recipe. Come on, kids, stop! You're making me mad. All right, we're gonna talk about my favorite chocolate recipe: chocolate frosting, margarine, and Nestle's Quick Powder.
Ooh!
And you just beat it until it's combined. The best chocolate frosting ever.
Oh, damn it. Now I have beat it. Now I'm going to put the jacket back on it.
Right, and we've come back.
Show 'em what's right. I'm going to stop singing so you don't get a copyright.
Right, strike. Beat that strike.
So beat
it now.
I ordered this on Amazon kind of as a gag, and I'm going to wear this all the time. I love this thing.
It is so great.
This is the second thing I've ordered on Amazon that wasn't a complete flop.
Oh, that's good.
I ordered oh, is that my hat? Is that my hat? It's not my hat.
Can you stop pressing boutons?
I have a new cowboy hat coming.
Oh, all right.
So tomorrow you might see my new hat, but I'm going to be extremely pessimistic when I say that they're not going to deliver it
You're
on time.
welcome, butterfly. It's my Jewish grandma made it because at Hanukkah time she used to make. We called it matzah cake. I don't even know. I'm sure that somebody else has had this, but you take the matzah. No, we did it for Passover, Hanukkah. Who am I talking about? Wrong food. That's Lazarus. You take your matzah, you pour a flat dish big enough to hold said piece of matzah, fill it with manischewitz, take the matzah, dip it into the plate of manischewitz, set it on your cake stand. Put the Nestle's Quick Powder, put your chocolate frosting of Nestle's Quick Powder mixed with butter to make it frosting consistency layer. Repeat until you've got like an inch high is plenty good. And then cover with circle sprinkles. Put it in the fridge and eat. I know that red vest is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make one this year. It's been a hot minute since I've made a matzah cake. Oh, chocolate frosting with matzah and manischewitz, like all the best things. But yeah, so other things I was going to cut bones for. This was my practice riding corset, and I'd hacked all the bones out of it because it was a little big, but I kind of like this one. And of course, how did my practice stuff end up with my favorites busks in it? Because I got these white ones on my nice blue version of this. These are so flexible, they like bent and conform to my body. And whereas these other ones are more firm and have retained their shape. I know, Kilroy, it is the weirdest cake ever. I understand. I'm not I'm not saying my family was known for stuff to be normal. Yes, and then take the whole thing out of the fridge and have it as a single cookie. Usually we would like cut little pieces because it's a surprisingly rich flavored cake. Sorry, the Manny would be good for a cake. Yes, the Manischewitz is good for a cake. It's already disgustingly sweet. Exactly. Oh no, he left us alone with with the evil eye? Oh no, with the evil bird head. Oh, butterfly does not like the bird head.
Skits doesn't either.
Do not open my microphone. Come on, shithead. Get off. You're I know you're stuck. Don't.
Cat fight.
No, I should. Okay, let me put the.
He sounds like a cord biter.
Oh, he bites all sorts of shit. And the mic is hooked up to the wrong side, the wrong USB, or on the port that's not close to where he's trying to run through, so he's like getting stuck and sitting. And sure. Oh goodness, let's see. Oh, Allie, need to get the German ones that bend to your shape, that not bends to you. Oh, I could bend to the shape of a busk. That I like. Oh, like the more us. I know. This is going to be so weird for folks who don't understand corsetry, boning, busks, and bending.
Actually,
and
I obsessively watch content based around the Victorian period, so I know a weird amount about the entire history of corsets.
Right, and they're great. The hardest part about loving corsets is learning that I need to make extra time to like get dressed properly, because getting tied into a corset takes a few minutes. If it's not my zip up stays, and so dressing takes like 15 minutes rather than like 3 minutes to like pull on your drawer, like just pull on shit over your head. What's just happening? Ellie, how could a cake be a filling if layers were thick butter and chocolate? That is Skits needs to save Butterfly. You bend the
I
steel
think I
without the
should
body
put.
bending it.
Oh, sorry.
Brilliant. I will have to look into that because I got them both from Amazon, but this one from Amazon not as nice as the other ones.
Do you guys think I should put sunglasses on the bird or what? It's an eagle head.
No, I think it's just fine. You should, if anything, just needs a top hat and sunglasses. Did you say sunglasses?
Yeah, I did. You know
Okay,
what?
I think it just needs a top hat then.
Because my father was weird, my predecessors were weird, my grandfather was over the top. Like, I don't think it's weird to have this stuff around. And like when I look at the eagle, I don't like. It's just a hollow. It's a furry head.
Right.
Oh, I found more fur too that I had before, and I think I'm gonna line a one of my jackets with it, the collar.
Ooh, that's nice. I at the faux fur section at Joann's yesterday, I was like went in there and like was sitting there holding it with like petting it. I was like, it's a good thing nobody's walking down this aisle right now because I'm literally here fondling fur fiber.
I do the same thing. It's not
And
illegal.
alliteration is just fun.
Are you kidding me? If people like, I love the reaction when I'm at Joann's and I'm sitting on the floor and someone turns the corner and they see me sitting there with all my patches. They're like, well, he's in here for a reason.
Okay, that straw is glass. You cannot chew on that. What? All right. I think you should just leave it. I think it makes me laugh. It kind of reminds me of my grandma enjoyed painting, and not that she ever painted when I was alive that I can recall, but her masterpiece was she would stand behind this frame that just had the glass and it was just her legs, and she would call it her masterpiece. And we laughed every single time. Like every time we went over there, she'd like pull out this exact same frame, stand behind it, and it's like, and here it is. Oh, funny, creepy. Put eyelashes on it. That would be super funny. Might need to like make them, or to get some the 2-inch, 3-inch long eyelash lace fringy stuff and put it in glue and mold it, because that looks like they need extra eyelashes.
For some reason, these aren't showing up on your thing. It also, Alibaba says, on YouTube Shorts, a woman petting a roll or fake fur on security cam. See you and Joann's is like seeing a guy with just boxes in his cart at the grocery store with rolling on the floor. Those eyelashes they have for car lights would do so well. I was thinking like how I have a bunch of pipe cleaners. I was thinking about just making sunglasses because I have all that fake Fendi material.
That's what I was the top. Just give it like a little
You're roboting again, but I know it'll slowly come back. It does it on a cycle. It does it on a weird cycle. So eventually it'll kick back in and I can hear you.
Okay. I'll just take myself out and let myself back in and see if that helps.
It did. It did.
Okay.
It slowly comes back. Pipe cleaner eyebrows.
Right. Oh, right, because we need eyebrows. No, we need like caterpillar eyebrows with long, flooshy eyelashes.
Do you know what's so funny? My head looks so shiny. I didn't even shave today, and I look so different on camera than I do in real life. I have kind of a 5 o'clock shadow right now, and you can't even see it.
I just like that all my gray hair doesn't show up so much on camera in this lighting. It just looks like a mess.
Butterfly says, I want to have a corset made for me. Suggestions what company to use.
There's the company Red Threaded does custom corsets. There's also, is it Made by Kate, who also does custom corsets? I'm sure I can't think of a couple others. From what I've seen, I think that's somewhere between like a $200 and $500 investment.
So Gilroy has hit something that's a major issue with me. Okay. And I know there are people that do this for medical issues, but I know a lot of people that just shave their eyebrows off or get them tattooed on. I know a lot of women that have tattooed eyebrows. It's weird because you get older and your face shifts.
That's true. Well, that's the whole joke about Nancy Pelosi with her new eyebrows that are like used to start off normal and are now like at her hairline.
So having no eyebrows is just weird to me. But like my mom has no eyebrows, but that's because she went through chemo and they never grew back.
Fair. Okay, thanks, Allie, for correcting me. Red Threaded and Kate have Off the Rack. They fit okay. Yeah, I can't remember who. Somebody, or am I thinking of that one of them or each of them will do custom measurements so for you to make your own? Oh, they'll do custom patterning. Is maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Which, yeah, that I think that's part of the reason why I've tried so many different corset patterns, because everyone, well, everyone is a different style and time period, and you never know where. If you know how your measurements and proportions are, sewing your own corset becomes way easier. Like I know I have a chest with giant tracts of land that comes very suddenly into a waist that lasts about an inch, and then we have hips. So there's no distance between rib cage and hip really. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. Allie, both will do custom patterns to fit. If you have a corset made, does it flex some? What if you fluctuate and wait a bit? They do. I mean, they tie in the back, so you can have your corset as tight or as loose as you want. Though certain styles and ways of making will make a difference as to how tight laced you can make your corsets. So, for example, and this one has got extra flexibility. So this is technically not a corset. These are technically stays, so from an earlier time period. But they're flexible because I just had the roll of it. Oh, there it is. It's sitting right in front of me. So the flexible synthetic German whale boning is quite flexible and will mold to your body nicely. I don't have close to hand. My steel boning bends, but it not so much. And where was I going? So depending on how close together, like the ideal that somebody's decided was a 2-inch lacing gap, but it can be bigger or smaller, and that's why if you have more than two, sometimes you'll have something like a modesty panel or a stomacher to just like cover up so your flesh is not hanging out through where the ties are. I got lost on a whole tirade of talking about corsets. I forgot what I was saying. I love them. I love wearing them. They're all different. They're all great. Try different stuff and see what you like.
That's awesome.
Because there's this old style, and then this one is what is it, 1907, early 1900s riding corset. So it's less structured. It's not a fancy dress corset. It's got gores in the bust, which at first sounds like this huge scary thing, but it's just a slash and spread and you sew the pieces in. Same with the hips. The hardest part really is being very meticulous in your tracing and cutting of the pattern and the sewing, because a little bit of, you can add or decrease the size of your undergarment very quickly if you're not careful, which is why this is both a good exercise for me and something that I struggle with, because
I do not have the lungs to wear a corset because I have breathing issues.
you can tie it looser. It doesn't need to, so that's what I was saying. So this corset, partly because of the age and style, and when they were made originally had hand sewn eyelets, not these metal grommets. So you literally can't pull the fabric that tight
Oh, okay.
to really do a lot. You can do some waist reduction, but not that much, because you would ruin it, because pull you'd pull through those hand sewn eyelets pretty easily, versus like the later ones once they had, of course, my newer corset is the one that these actually have mostly. No, this is all hand sewn. This is all completely ridiculous. So I got a modern corset with all hand sewn eyelets because my grommets fell out. But technically, this kind you could tie tighter because of the act of the metal eyelets to offer that support. So it's mostly like it's an old fashioned bra. So it's like, how smushed or unsmushed do you want to be, and how low is your dress, or what's the garment you're going to put on top of it. Let's see here. Yes, it flexes as they tie. Yup. Allie says may or may not need a modesty panel for the back for the ties. Exactly. Depending or in the stays, they would put it in the front as a stomacher, as a ornamental detail to cover up their undergarment, because again, you can't tight lace it. So if you're super slender and everything fits at the lacing channel you want, and your figure if everything feels and looks right for what you're going to put on top of it, you don't need it. You should find one. I bought an off the rack one in the late 90s, early aughts that I still have kicking around. And then I have all these different styled ones. Because it's straight lines, and yeah, it does take some fancy, not even fancy, I mean, you don't need a fancy grommet press if the hand one works for you for like a corset. And for fitting purposes, it's helpful to, not this side, to have like the first exercise be the back, whatever part, to sew a pair of lacing strips. Because then you can, if this from here to here was a separate piece, you can just baste that in, strongly baste it into your toile or muslin, so that you're not always making the lacing part from the beginning. Because you can reuse this, and then usually people just tear out the busk for the next one. Or you use your first copies, your practice versions, as your inner lining if you're going to do a lined corset. But you don't have to. This one's unlined. I just did flat felt seams.
Awesome.
Oh, let's see, Kilroy. One of these days I'll have a corset. Not in the budget right now though, and I don't want to make my first one. Fair, I know, I bought my first one and then I was like, but I want more, because because everyone is a little bit different, or what, I want to wear clothes from a different time, different era, and I need an undergarment that works. It's a huge black hole of making underpinnings. Let's hear, did I miss? Oh no, maybe Butterfly was talking back to Allie. Allie says the Symington factory made them. Pattern is available from them as well. They don't include pattern fitting. And Matt takes a person with the skill to scale it to your measurements. It's a good start.
Definitely.
Yes. And I haven't tried that one, but who was it? Maybe it was you, somebody, Allie Kilroy, ages and a day ago, who told me when Arenia Black was closing down her website, I managed to, on the subreddit, I have all of her patterns, and I've liked her. I haven't had to do a lot of alteration to those ones. These are these stays are from Ralph Pink, who's got a full and half boned stays pattern, but I think that's only in a UK size 8, which happened to work. And somehow my longness, I haven't had a lot of issues. I think so that's helped. So to get the waist at the right spot, because I know some people have to do a lot of fiddling to lengthen their patterns, because you can't just grade it up, like you have to elongate it, and it is a little bit different if you have problems.
I do that with certain patterns. I do that with certain things, depending on what it is or what I want it to be, because I have a bit of a longer torso. So certain shirts, I measure it out a little bit longer, even with the pattern.
Right. Or you take you're like, or you could even, before you get started, measure the pattern pieces and see, like, all right, hold it up to your body and see, like, is this actually
I do that.
my measurements?
I do that, depending on what the piece is.
Right, because sometimes you don't have to. They have some modern garments have so much ease that now that it doesn't matter, because you're like,
At
oh,
all.
this is going to be huge anyway. Like,
Do you know what's so funny? When I made my tunic, I am always a size bigger than what they say. I made that thing, it was 2 sizes bigger than what it should have been. It's huge on me.
yeah,
It looks like I made somebody else's tunic because it's so huge.
right. You're wearing like Grandpa Giant's like
Yeah,
version. You're like,
exactly.
I'm not tiny.
So I need to re-engineer my blocks for that one.
Right. Well, if you're a pattern cutter and you know how big it is, you could just like cut it down or grade it from whatever. But that's it. I don't think I haven't asked this question in a while. Pattern cutters or pattern tracers?
I'm a pattern cutter, but with my older patterns, I trace them
Fair.
because I don't want to break the chain. I do not want to be if that pattern, especially the one I'm looking at right now, that's from before I was born. I do not want to be the person who breaks the chain. Like,
I didn't ruin it.
or like I bought a costume pattern from a thrift store, and again, I made a tunic, and I'm just lucky the person who cut it out was my size. Let's just put it that
Right.
way. Because I wasn't gonna get it extra large, whether I wanted it or not.
Yeah, I always am leery about getting thrift store patterns. But I don't know. I think I can't, because I always know I have to make alterations. The thought of literally paying for a pattern like pains me. I would rather pull out the teeth, take my measurements, and draft a pattern
So
than
I've learned if it doesn't say $2.97 on it, it's probably $10 to $20.
if not more.
Pattern
I was seeing some patterns for like 40. I'm like, oh my no.
I made that mistake with my overalls one time because I bought a bunch of fabric and it came out to $70. And I was at Walmart and I get to the counter and they're like, it's 100 something something. I knew the pattern because I bought like mints. You go to Walmart, you get all the useless stuff you don't need.
Right.
But like I instantly knew that pattern was $20 instantly.
Yeah.
Ugh. There's a
Too
reason why
much.
Mimi G lives in a nice neighborhood.
Right, exactly. Let's see here, Allie. There was a system in a roll that had sticks for the measurements for the boning. Using those though, you use the system with the roll that made the pattern that way. Can't recall the system. Interesting. Yes, Kilroy. Some folks do trace patterns. It's a thing. I even trace out my like free mood ones that I've learned actually I've gotten better and stopped. A, I've not been using them, but B, they're usually so big. I try to like trim off some of the excess. But Rhode is. I love their free patterns and I hate their free patterns because some of their pattern writers are just. They had somebody a couple years ago who was really great, and some of them are just terrible with their directions. Let's see here, Allie. Of course, traces and make another for me. Absolutely. Butterfly used to be a cutter, now is a tracer and cutter. I'm also trying my hand at making my own from a master pattern. Yes, blocks and what's the slopers and blocks because they're not the same. I learned there's not quite the same thing. Similar but close. Allie, I have the McDowell's garment system from 1885. Could draft that year's garment for women easy. Of course. Let me McDowell's system. And you've got that drafting like contraption that I'm gonna forget the name of. Of course. Oh right, so Butterfly has the Sure Fit designs and the Luterlo, but haven't tried them yet.
Awesome. Waternay has a lot of Luterlo stuff.
I was gonna say, yeah, that she really likes that one.
I really wasn't into it until I met her. It's actually really fancy and the stuff looks good.
It's a meme system. Oh, that's funny.
Do you know what's so funny? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just,
You're
yeah.
Okay. So you're roboting again, but you'll come back. So even if you jump out or not, I think you still might be roboting. Okay, there you are. There you are.
Okay.
It's the weirdest thing.
I know, and I literally just bought new Ethernet cable yesterday, so I'm hardwired in, so I don't understand.
The internet, you know what? I go back and watch all my live streams because I am Mr. OCD. And you know what? I watch my internet skip sometimes. It's the strangest thing, and you don't even notice it while you're talking.
I know, that's why I want to get better at the OBS. So maybe we'll have to do a test run with that new way for you to get into the back door of my streams. Because I want. Oh. So yeah, Killary thinks it looks like more sizzled in steak. Yeah, I think, but if you go back, because I've been archived at or different places, blah blah blah. It seems like every person could just and did for a long period of time have their own like fancy drafting system that frequently included like because it was not the close. It's such a big thing because it used to be about the proportions that were important and there was like their ideal proportions for whatever drafting system and it's not that like today I make my clothes mostly and try to be good about having them the proportions to fit the body I have rather than forcing my body to fit some other ideal of proportions. But because that was the standard practice, like I haven't watched it because I go back and forth about enjoying Snappy Dragon's content, but like they used to have bum rolls and hip pads and bust improvers. So if your body didn't match the proportions, they were like, then we'll just slap on these extra cutlets and fluffy things and make it so your body did fit those things. The age of snake oil. You could make and sell any old shit you wanted, including drafting systems. 100%. There's so many. And they've all got their things and their fancy rulers that you can't find anymore.
Oh, yet another rabbit hole to fall down.
Right, I know. Yep, just like Allie said. If you didn't fit the proportions, you just stuffed it and you faked it. Everything. The back then is just like the here now. It's all smoke and mirrors. 100% smoke and mirrors.
I call it lights, glitz, and camera tricks. That's all it is.
Yep, exactly. Your iron finger is great for padding. Yeah. Maybe I want to. Do I have stuff to play for the last hour? Oh, I'll put in this zipper real fast on this machine. Am I threaded up? No, I'm not even threaded. What am I doing? Where's my extra bobbins?
I did that my last live stream where I was like, I'm gonna add a zipper because I didn't know my cape was gonna take my last sequence cape. It took me like less than an hour to make.
Yeah, sometimes things are fast, and then sometimes they're not. Do I want to get a second one of these things so I can have all the machines threaded rather than moving it? Whatever. Okay, where am I?
I'm like weirdly working on patch placement. I'm changing a bunch of my codes. And now that I've moved a bunch of stuff in here, I found all kinds of things that I forgot about. Because
That always happens.
I make so much that, like I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about you. You were like the code of the year in 2017.
I need to. I keep saying I need to do a lookbook or just to look through my clothes because I have stuff that I've made years and years ago, and I have made new stuff, so I don't know who looks well together.
Totally.
And
have a great night, bye.
good night, bye. That's my fashion, making people pad their ass out for over 100 years. Exactly. The BBL isn't just new. They did it back then too, but it was called Feathers and Fluff.
I want to tell you, like, I lived in Hollywood in the early 2000s, and the BBL was, it was around back then, but not too many people were doing it. Now, I know, like, lots of people get BBLs now. It's weird.
I know, it's so funny. I know, I do just move my spools around. Oh, no, I could just leave the machine threaded and change the holder from machine to machine rather than using the same spool and rethreading all my machines. Good idea. I know, I'll have to keep a lookout at the Goodwill because I wouldn't mind not having to move stuff, but then it's clutter and stuff. So you are correct, Allie. You're so smart. Alright, we are all threaded up. I'm just using my regular foot to set the zipper in real fast because...
I'm sorry, I'm kind of captivated because the new stadium that they have here in LA is like breathtaking. They built this
okay.
billion-dollar stadium in the middle of Inglewood, and it's like next to the Forum, and it's amazing how they can just put a building up.
I know, I'm not as pretty as a beautiful sports stadium. I'm okay with that.
It's the prednisone. My
The
ADD is on,
right, you're just
is on steroids, or I'm like, oh, shiny things. That's why I'm sitting here, because my sewing would be a bit erratic if I tried to finish my collar right now.
I know, Allie, some of the elliptical ear dresses could have been serving trays in a restaurant. Straight back, those dress silhouettes. I know. And the ones, from the France, from the 18th century, 1700s, with those giant pannier hoops. That there was a while where everybody was making their panniers with giant pockets and being like, can I get a mag of champagne? How big of a thing can I put in these gigantical pockets?
We used to call those beer nuts. We have pockets big enough to put beers in.
Fair. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're cute to look at. Not something I'm like, I have to make that style is not on my to-do list right now. I know. Like, so you you could have had a serving tray on top and your extras. I'll make that would be a funny costume to have trays so you could have your cocktails on the hips and then the pockets inside where you could pour out for the new drinks with some extra cups. That that is funny.
I don't know what now that I think about it, I don't know what I'm gonna be for Halloween. I have a couple robes. Isaiah is gonna be a Mormon
Okay.
with a name tag and everything. He every year he gets trollier and trollier with his costumes.
I know, because I thought at the beginning of the year the plan was to be the Power Ranger family.
He didn't want to, and so I
Okay.
was like, meh. He's of that age where he no
Yeah.
longer like I'm not that cool anymore,
I don't want to have a themed costume with my dad.
Yeah,
How dare
exactly.
you?
But I bet you if his friend was like, let's be Power Rangers, he would do it.
Right, it would be like, okay, dude. Black or blue.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I know, Allie, those are Kilroy, that's what Godless put on his coat, including pockets big enough to hold suitcases of beer.
True.
Smokes, thrust one out, hip drinks, thrust another out. Oh, that is adorable. Okay, I am screenshotting this because is this year's Halloween here yet? No. Am I already thinking about what over the top complex outfit for next year? And does Rachel Maxey always beat me to the punch? Yes, but ours are going to be completely different because there will be no engines or mechanics in mine. It's going to be a functional hoop for an act, and it's going to have scary creatures, scary mythological creatures. I think on my carousel skirt,
I
carousel
am on
costume.
this. I am on this like weird quest to make hold on one second.
Okay, and I am just slowly stitching this zipper in. That is funny, Ellie. I like this idea. All right, maybe I do want to make one so I can do this. And then in my off time, when we're not streaming and sewing, I can hire myself out to fancy corporate events and be like, hey. All right, I guess I have to start practicing my makeup again because then you have to look pretty. Blah, blah, blah. What are you doing, little man? You're back again. You're back again. Please don't destroy anything. The snacks are in the drawer away from you because you steal shit. Where are you going? You're muted.
Still a rookie after all these years. My son is so respectful. It makes me want to cry sometimes. He's so respectful. I was never that
Aww.
respectful at 14. He called me and told me what he's doing, and he said he sends me his location.
Oh.
He's so respectful. And for a 14-year-old, I'm like, I did something right. I did something.
Yes, it is about how they've been trained.
Well, and you know what the funny thing is? He knows me. He knows around a certain time I start getting curious. And I start
Right.
making phone calls. So he called. Oh,
Right, it's better to be proactive.
that's my motto. Like anyone who knows me, I'm a proactive human. Like I don't act impulsively, but I make a decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he's good. He's a good kid. Back to beer pockets.
Well, right. I know. Smokes and beer pockets. I
When
might
I
need
was
to get a fancy Zippo.
when I was a kid,
Fancy later.
my mom was famous for smuggling food into movie theaters. She'd put stuff on all of us, like
Yeah. Oh,
because even back then, like
yeah. Right.
movie theater
It was
candy
a
was,
treat and expensive. Yep.
and even you go to the grocery store, you get that for 50, the same bar of candy for 50 cents, And so my mom was world famous for her, like, who's got the Snickers? Who's got the, we'd come, every kid would come with a few things on them,
Right. Just distribute the load so no one person got in trouble for all of it. And if somebody got popped, you'd be like,
Exactly.
just shut your mouth and keep walking, kid.
1 to find and 10 to keep, Oh,
Right.
dang it. Now I'm craving movie theater popcorn. In my town, my movie theater is hurting so bad, you're allowed to walk in there and buy popcorn and leave.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. People do it all the time because it was a word of mouth thing. And then the movie theater was like, so there's been rumors that people are going around saying that you can just walk in here and buy popcorn. And we'd like to say that we invite all of you to walk in here and just buy
Wait, that is
popcorn.
not just a rumor. You too can walk in and buy your popcorn and leave.
I've done it. It's movie theater popcorn. Like, come on.
Right. Hey, okay, another random question, because I don't think I've ever asked this one before. Has anybody bought just strips of zipper in a roll and then bought the tools to cut your zippers to your own length and attach all the fastenings? Or is that like a step beyond of like, why would you do that, human?
Never. And I'll tell you why, at least in my case, like even in that store that I went to that I was overwhelmed, they had zippers cut in every shape or size you could possibly think of in every color. And unless you need a 17 and a half and 3/4, like, a specialty size, they have every size for pants, coats, In the modern era, we have more cuts,
Fair.
That's how it's always been, though. Not here. They're bougie here. They won't let you walk past the front doors.
Get stopped at the gate. Do you have your wait? Show me your. Yeah, never mind. I'll leave the very bad accent. Show me your ticket, jokes at the door.
We always and they just like at my grocery store during COVID, I felt uncomfortable if they had like beefy dudes working there, and they were like 6'4". Put your mask on. 6. There was one dude. I'm not kidding you. He had to be at least 6'7".
Oh God.
And he worked there during.
You're not going to give me the vid because I can't breathe on me.
He was the mask enforcer, and we used to always laugh. Laugh. I'm sure have done that step beyond.
That's funny. Not funny, just odd. Comes from doing cushions. Did I miss something?
Yes, hold on. That's how it's always been, though. I'm sure I have done that step beyond. Comes from doing cushions. For some reason, your chat isn't showing the YouTube. Like it's like skipping every other
I wonder if
comment.
it's cutting out when I have refreshed it to not be glitchy, or if it's something. I wonder. Okay, thank you. I apologize for the disasters in tonight's stream, but if you hung by this far, or if you happen to be on the replay crew and make it this far, if you want to leave me a gold star for effort, I'd appreciate it.
Two streams ago, I had like 30 views. Okay, I wake up the next morning, 70 people watched my stream. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I should have tried harder that day.
Right. Oh, no. Okay. Yes. Okay. The custom zippers comes from making cushions. Now it all has come together. You're answering my question, and I missed a contextual reference. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
Zippers. They come in
Yeah,
all like
cushions are weird.
That is true. Like I wanted to get into bag making, and I was like, oh, I started looking into it. And I'm like, it's a whole different planet. I'd have to take my whole fleet to a different planet,
Right, and right, because they also do, that's where I think I was thinking about the custom zippers, because they're always cutting, crimping on their own ends, adding their own toggly things. Like there's a lot of custom zippering and bag making as well.
I can't say the name. It's Swisha Swag. Is that it?
Sia Swag.
Sia Swag.
Oh, Saya, because her name's
See?
Kasaya. That's okay.
Do you know what? And I'll tell you why I don't know that is because I watch a lot of stuff on mute, and because I have multiple screens in here, and I watch her on mute because I love watching people sew.
Yeah.
So, like, there's certain YouTubers I watch their video. I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard you speak, and I've been watching you for a year and a half. I'm weird. I learn better watching things than hearing people talk about it.
Right, and like, I mean, you could watch me sew because what I'm talking about has nothing to do with what I'm sewing, except for when it randomly does.
I do that. I do the same thing when I'm sewing. I talk about everything that happened in my day rather than anything that's going on when I'm doing.
Right, except for I know today we had a whole pontification about my thoughts and feelings on corsets and a tiny bit of history that I've picked up along the way.
Oh, I still have. Do I still have French fries? Score.
You've random French fries, and there's usually no eating of foods in this room as we're watching.
Okay, so listen. I'm on pregnant zone, and like
I know, so you're hungry all the time and
all
can't
the time.
help yourself.
And they're up the street from my house. There's a lying burger. I say they lie because they lie about their hours. Anytime after 9 o'clock, it's a crapshoot if they're open. Because they say they close at 12. I went by there one time at 9:15. They were closed.
What?
I think it's privately owned. But I'm addicted to this chicken. It's basically a fried chicken sandwich with bacon, ranch dressing, tomatoes, and a heart attack with a bun.
Okay, and French fries on the side for good measure, because if the other stuff didn't kill you, they really want to make sure that.
Alibaba, I'm a potato addict. I'm a chip. I grow my own potatoes. I have come to accept the fact that I'm addicted to potatoes. Cold Fries is the name of my next punk album.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, cold fries ick.
I'm weird.
There's some good cold potatoes, but French fries ain't it.
I'll drink cold coffee. I'm weird. I am really weird like that.
Yeah, but coffee's not supposed to be a hot, crispy, fluffy inside potato wedge or stick or.
But in the fast food world, as someone who worked in the fast food industry in his 20s for many years, French fries only have a 7-minute window. At Carl's Jr., it's 7 minutes. At McDonald's, it's like 5. So if you're not eating them within when it's cooked like that, it's not fresh.
No, and it doesn't taste nice. They get soggy and they're not nice.
So anything past the 7-minute mark is technically not fresh when it comes to French fries, as far as fast food.
Right, I know, Ellie, you could just leave your cup of coffee outside on the front doorstep for like 5 minutes. You're like, iced coffee, done.
It's weird to me that like today is the first night it's gonna be cold. Like it's just been endless summer here.
It's going to be like 70 one day this week, and then it's supposed to be 40s, 50s, and rainy with 30s and 40s nighttime. Welcome to winter.
Usually we ease into it, and then it's windy. It was like hot, hot, hot. Oh, it's windy now. Winter.
Right. I know, but it feels super late that... I mean, granted, there are some of the trees in my neighborhood that will not finish having dropped their leaves until December, but the leaves have hardly changed colors or dropped, and usually a good number have already.
Same here. My fruitless mulberry is still green, and my grape leaves are still growing. I'm not growing any grapes because everything that's smart has already picked them off.
Right.
That's no cats, skunks, raccoons,
possums.
Yeah, exactly. I'm feeding half the neighborhood with those grapes, but I walked out yesterday and I was like, holy smokes, they're still green and they're not like withered at the end or anything. They're still fuzzy and green. Grape leaves are kind of fuzzy on top.
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing. They're still kind of fresh.
Yeah, it's this year's interest is just what this year is.
And my lemongrass, it's still growing. It's huge.
Hmm.
It's probably like the highest I've ever got is probably like 4 feet. It's probably like 5 feet right now.
Oh my goodness, that's huge.
My gardener, every year when he takes it off, he's like, "You should be charging me for this stuff," because I guarantee he goes off and sells it.
Why aren't
I,
you using it in your kitchen?
I do, but I have a ton of it. Like I
Okay.
have three. I put lemongrass in my tea, and I because I'm weird, I eat it fresh off the plant. It tastes like Fruit Loops to me.
Oh, nice.
Maybe my palate's off. I don't know. I like chewing on a thing of lemongrass. Maybe I ate too many Fruit Loops as a kid. I was
Maybe,
addicted to.
but also like it's like a stick of a fibrous thing that you can gnaw, and so it meets it. It might meet a couple of tick a couple boxes.
It tastes so good. It's the weirdest thing. It tastes. I don't know, but I grew up kind of country, so I like just being able to grab something off the vine and eat it.
Right. Oh, and so it's not just us. Ellie says London city trees are still green, not a sign of fall at all. Very seldom leaves of trees
See,
yet. They're, yeah. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's starting, but
usually by
yeah.
now here it's fall. Like we have a. That's one thing we do have a real fall where everything withers, and it's really green because we had unseasonable weather, so the hills are still green.
Mm.
They're usually way brown by now. I mean, like
Oh,
depressingly brown.
yeah. No, ours usually turn brown in March or April, and they've not regreened yet.
I noticed it the other day because at the ranch, like ever since it snowed, I looked up one day and I'm like, oh, there's a giant mountain there. I never noticed. And it's green. It's just super green.
Yeah, a little bit of water will do that.
Well,
Mm,
well, that I'm not trying to get too political. That and companies not taking it from the population helps.
right. You mean we didn't just sell all the water in the hills to Nestle? Like, what?
And then literally said we were in a drought. Like I'm still mad and I'm not over it.
Right. Oh, that's funny because I was thinking about that. That picture the last time of Greta Thunberg, I don't know, getting caught. Oh, maybe in Germany, whatever, for like climate change and
Oh
oil
yeah.
stuff. But then I looked at what she was wearing. I was like, okay, you were only wearing synthetic technical materials. Where do you think the raw materials for your clothes came from? Like, it's a lab and petroleum. Like, how, where's your wool coat and pants and mittens? Like, you don't get to complain about climate change in petroleum laden
Well, how
clothing.
old is she?
Like, I
She hasn't hit that age yet of realizing irony. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not trying to be mean. I feel like the younger, like irony, has skipped the younger generation in general. Like people are so literal nowadays. Like if like don't wear synthetics if you're gonna be talking about petroleum companies and stuff.
yeah, they also don't know how to take a joke either, though. Like they're by and large. But
I
yeah,
think about
I
this
saw
all the
that and I was
time.
like, oh my god, kid.
The way that even my mother and I speak to each other, most people like would get their feelings hurt. Because my mom speaks to me
Yeah,
like an adult.
right. There's a difference between being constructive critique and being mean are not the same thing.
Very much so. But
No, it's because Russia and China are bad. Like, the best teachers were always like the Slavic and the Chinese one. Like, you just do it, you get it right. That was not the crappiest I've seen you do this is a high praise of compliment, and you will just accept it and be like, whoa, they really thought highly of what I just put out there. And you'll work harder to hopefully get something slightly nicer in another 10 tries.
I'm from that school of, hey, you didn't fail. Good for you.
Which is also valid. I know, because didn't I say that California's going to like they just passed? Why does it need to be a law that kids need to learn cursive? And here in Oregon, it is, oh, kids
I'll
of
tell you,
color, you don't need how to know how to do maths and to read.
I
We'll
actually
let you
complained.
graduate.
I actually complained about that because the kids coming in the workforce now can't deal with the older generation. So now we have to go back in the school system and teach those kids how to read cursive because we're living longer. We're still going to be there when these kids get in the workforce and they need to read what we're writing.
Right, but does it need to be a law?
What happened is that if it's not, people aren't going to do it. That's the problem. Like they just they stop doing it. And I
Okay.
know like all of a sudden they stopped doing 6th grade graduations, and I may or may not even be against them, but one day they just stopped doing them,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it was never a law or a mandate saying you have to stop giving 8th grade graduation, you know.
Right. Kilroy, every teenage kid nowadays is that one annoying vegetarian activist in the first couple years of high school who were all fucked with endlessly. Yeah, all over. They can't read cursive at all. Yeah, that's
It's
not
sad
how
but true.
computer screens are. They type. They. I mean, I wonder really if push comes to shove, can they actually like print either, or do they just know how to type?
I live in a cave. I just found out that the Olympics are in Paris in 2024. That's going to be cool. Where was I? I don't pay
Haven't you
attention
been
to.
seeing the commercials from NBC for like the past 3 weeks? It just
No,
started getting into be like Olympics season.
they got rid of hockey. They got rid of hockey 2 years ago, so I stopped
So
watching.
you're like, NBC?
Unsubscribe.
No.
No,
Oh,
because they had
yes,
a whole
right.
hockey channel and everything, and it's gone.
Ellie's, they've got the new math as well. Takes as long to do as takes so long to do a calculation. Yeah, and what what's the words I'm looking for? Yeah, they've got other versions of the new maths where where they're incorporating all these like new theories. I'm like that have nothing to do with math. Like kids can't. Oregon, they literally just got rid of kids being able to pass basic proficiency maths
I'll
and
tell
reading
you. So
to graduate.
what they do here is now they don't want to know the answer. As far as math, they don't want to know the answer. They want you to show your work. It's the weirdest thing to me. That's my only beef with the edge. Like, honestly, because they're teaching my son evolution, they're teaching my son all these things, so I'm not mad. But math, I am an absolutist in a lot of ways. I deal with money, so you need to know math. I tell my son all the time, no, we don't care how you got there, you need to know the answer. But in modern math, they want to know the steps. You have to write out a word problem, and they honestly don't even want to know the answer half the time.
Well, true, but I wondered. I mean, then I guess an argument to point to that would be it's so easy to find a calculator or a computer, like, or are kids just copying all of the answers? They are trying to find some way to like you actually understand, or did you
Yeah, but two
take
plus
it?
two is four. Do we need a map?
Yeah, well, these days you do.
You give me 520s. Give me 520s. It's $100. It's not rocket science, you know.
No, it's not. Ooh, sweet, we have set in a zipper. I side tangent. I don't know if everybody's pulled out has a way that they enjoy doing it, but I will sew the seam, actually take the time to press it, and then sew the zipper in, and then unpick that seam. And I generally, if I did good, I have a zipper set in. So it's not a fancy lap zipper or all these like fancy zipper techniques. It's like, do you need a zipper set in? Yes. Okay, done. Oh, Killer, that sounds like Teacher Burnout Express. Yeah. Well, who would want to? I mean, But oh god.
It's he has to turn in composition books, and the teacher even told me like, "Oh, we don't really want the answers. We just want to know how they got there." And I'm like, "But I like to be thorough."
Right, it's both are important.
Yes. You know, and as somebody who likes to like go on adventures, the journey is just as fun as the destination if you make it that way, you know.
Right.
My parents were like that. They would stop at antique stores, they'd pull over at weird restaurants, they'd take chances, you know. And that's cool too. Besides, even though you're going to some really cool destination, you know. I
Right,
get it.
right. The getting there is fun also.
That's why I miss traveling pre-COVID, because from between where I live and Las Vegas are a million cool places.
Yep.
Million. Little desert towns with cheap sewing machines.
All the good stuff. I know. I think actually, not next time. Well, that's not true. There will be a next time. am going to order a gajillion more pins because this quilting is for what this piece is going to be, since I'm going to just cut it smaller anyway. It's fine, but other places where our lining and our backing and things kind of shifted a little bit, the answer is yes, and I think more pins would have helped that. But
I went through this. Sorry, I went through this weird phase of every time I went to the store, I bought pins. So I have an unreal collection of pins.
I have straight pins. I meant safety pins, and that
Oh,
I don't have the biggest abundance for.
if you lived any closer, I have so many. I have to put them in like an old, like, this is an old mint plastic container.
Oh, yes, because I was like looking at the 200 pin boxes, and I was like, I need 200 safety pins and maybe some more.
I have them of every size in this room. Like, I do not play when it comes to safety pins.
Oh my god! Oh yes, I am envious of that safety pin collection.
Even my Mike Jack, I call him, like, all the cool Ella guys call him Mike Jack. So if you hear
Okay,
me say Mike Jack, it's Michael Jackson. My Mike
right.
Jack jacket, I had to safety pin it because those buttons were fake buttons. Because it was
Oh no! Right.
my leather coat is real. Like, it has like everything that buttons, it's supposed to button. It's real. The
Yeah.
Michael Jackson one is so fake. It's like a $3 bill.
Oh man.
But I like it. But you know, I'm here for fashion and function, you know?
Right. Yes.
Or
Sometimes the thing
non-function.
actually needs to do the thing. Yeah, no fashion non-functions around here. You gotta look good and do your job, man.
I want that old magnetic square for pins with the black glass heads. Ooh.
Ooh.
Jinx, that sounds fancy to me too.
I know.
The problem, like, I'm rough on stuff, so I can't necessarily have nice stuff like that. Like, I have, like, my living room is a display where all the really fancy stuff is in there because no one goes in there.
Fair.
But glass pens, I feel like I would smash.
Yeah. Well, you just have to not run over it and like step on them.
The U.S. and Canada had $3 and $4 bills long time ago. Really? That is true. Is that pre-Confederate days, though?
Oh, and a 25-cent note too. That's so funny that some stuff. Okay, now my chat's caught up where I can see it again.
It's skipping some of the comments for some reason.
I know, that's so weird. But
My StreamYards was doing that, you know?
okay, so
And
it's
then
not.
this maniac thing popped up.
That's again.
Maniac. This is just,
That's so funny with the eagle head in the background and the fireworks. You're so patriotic over in the House of Sewing. We love Murica around here.
and my flag. and my giant casket flags that are covering a huge my wall. This
Yeah.
spatial perception is real. Like I have a ton of stuff in this room.
Oh, a
There's a Civil War
3-cent
era.
coin.
Crazy. There's this saying, it's either faker than a $3 bill or gayer than a $3 bill, but I switched it to faker than a $3 bill. I didn't know the $3 bill was real.
Well,
I'll
not
find something else.
anymore. It used to be. Oh,
Somebody
I didn't even pull it. So, here's the stays. So this gets cut on the fold. So this quilted thing, I've got enough that I can lay this down, and then I'm going to add little extra tabs so it covers my hips to keep me warm. My warm quilted undergarments because I don't have enough undergarments.
Google Images should have them.
Spectacular.
I was a coin collector for a long time. Now I just have a bunch of coins I don't look at anymore.
No, my parents, they must have been, my grandfather collected stamps, and my parents must have a huge stamp collection because I save every card that they send to me because it's got some combination of like weird 20-cent stamps or like stamps
wow.
that they don't sell anymore, but they just had. So,
I had some
like that.
really old Malcolm X stamps, and I sent a letter to somebody, and they're like, "Are you crazy? Why did you send?" Like they were mad at me for using the stamps, and I'm like, "I am not a stamp collector. I shouldn't have sent those, though. I shouldn't. I'd had them for like 20 years."
But you're like, they're not living their best life without the stamp on them.
And they're still valid. Like after all these years, they're still valid.
Right? Which is good because why is the UPS increasing the price of stamps again next year or something? Like, why?
Oh, we have beef right now. Me and all ground carriers, we are not friends. I think it's because of modern impatience. And I am man enough to admit that like I'm spoiled because I live in an area where certain items I order and they're at my house within 15 hours. Like
Yes.
there's been times where I ordered something at 2 a.m. I go to bed, wake up, and it's at my front door. Then like literally when I wake up,
Oh, you are spoiled.
Well, it's because LA has a
Right.
multiple.
You've got all the hubs and all the stuff.
Yeah, multiple, but they have really been like slagging me off lately, and I'm over it. I'm over it. And I'm a traveler. Like I don't need them. I can drive around and go pick something up.
Oh, of course. Thanks, Killera. UPS changed their policy and now they update prices twice a year instead of once a year. Yeah, like I have so many questions, but I can't make them coherently right now.
They. It's gonna be interesting. Excuse me. If my cowboy hat doesn't come tomorrow, I'm going to cry on stream. Because I ordered that thing a while, just like my embroidery hoop that took 2 months. I don't know why things like that take so long.
I mean, you don't obsessively check your tracking as soon as you have a number to see exactly where it is, like 5 times a day until it shows up at your house, like I do.
You know what I do, but then I get Karen and I start calling them, and I'm like, I ordered something in San Bernardino. Why is it in Texas? Like I get Karen with it, so I've tried not to because.
Okay, I'm not a caller. I just obsessively stock my packages.
My embroidery hoop. Okay, they said it was going to take 3 weeks. It took 2 months, and my machine works. And you know what? I did have a broken hoop that I masked. It didn't work. I get it. Oh man, I hope my cowboy hat comes tomorrow. I ordered it. I just hope it comes tomorrow.
Good. I think do we have any last, before we call the show for tonight, any last things? He's too high all the time to check it fair. Gilroy.
That's fair. That's fair. Monday. Check me out, Godless Sewing. I have a short out right now. I'm always in the middle of making a video. Stuff. Godless Sewing.
Awesome. Don't wait until tomorrow when you can be fabulous today. And don't laugh at others unless you've laughed at yourself. Continue to please take a moment to do the like, subscribe, share on all the platforms. Mostly if you haven't tried it, go check out Rumble because YouTube and... All right, I'll see you all later. All right, next time.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see you next time.
Bye.